The following is an opinion show, and nothing said in this show should be taken as fact or be taken literally. They're just goofing around, trying to have fun. You do like to have fun, don't you? Also, this show is not for kids, so listener discretion is advised. Hey, welcome to this week's Geekus Speakus, everyone.
Yeah, we missed a week because my throat decided to not function and I couldn't talk.
And my friend kind of sorta wrote me into the early beta for Fallout 76 without sort of asking me. Yay? Yeah.
Just before the podcast, you're saying you were looking into a Persona RPG?
Yeah, they have a Persona RPG. It looks like it's homebrew sort of look from it. I'm just glancing over it at the moment.
That reminds me, because Personas are very similar to stands, and I've been looking at some JoJo stuff, because I picked up Volume 9 of Stardust Crusaders in the hardback, and I've been watching Part 5. But I think JoJo would make a great RPG setting, because the trick with, once they introduce stands, it becomes less of the whole thing with the JoJo fights. It's less about overpowering your opponent and more of figuring out the rules for the fight and then fighting the fight based on those rules.
Right.
And I always love that because it's like, oh, that's how you can get rid of the whole power creep thing that you run into with other shonen series is where it's like, oh well, I can now blow up, I can flex and the planet blows up. It's like, well, that's no fun of that. No, this one it's like, well, if you look to the left, your face falls off, so you have to always look to the right to fight this guy. So how are you gonna fight this guy when you only look to the right? Or how to find a guy when you can't show your back to anyone or it'll kill you, so you have to keep your back to the wall, kind of stuff like that. And that's the beauty of JoJo.
Nice. Yeah, it would be pretty good to be interesting, like, role-playing game you could do.
Right? Like, instead of, like, you mix the fights and the puzzles.
Right. Also, my name is Dean.
Well, okay, there may be newcomers, and I'm Bryan.
Listeners. Hi, everyone. This is a little more tame in comparison to most opens, I guess.
Yeah.
Kinda, what's up, guys? How's it going?
I had a credit limit increase, and so I decided to pick up some stuff, and I ended up at the bookstore and a music store, so I picked up a couple books and a couple albums.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I used the rest of that extra credit to pay off a medical bill.
Nice.
So that way I just have to pay off the credit card instead of one person wanting money from me, instead of 3 people wanting money from me, I have 1.
Nice. So, I had to deny somebody a credit limit increase the other day.
Ooh, fun.
That's the closest thing I have to relating.
I didn't even ask, they just gave it to me because I've had it.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, my life is boring at the moment, but I have nothing to say about my life, honestly. There's nothing really going on. Nothing that's not going to be brought up in the show anyway.
Yeah, no, but I picked up Volume 9 of JoJo, the hardback, JoJo Part 3, Stardust Crusaders. It goes from Darby the Younger to... I'm surprised that we already got to the whole Vanilla Ice fight, because that's a spoiler fight where, spoilers happen.
Nice.
And I picked up Drawn to Sex, the Basics, a guide to they them pronouns, and then Delusions of Gender by Cordelia Fine. And then those CDs I picked up Amanda Palmer's second album, which I like better than the first album. The first album's great, but I prefer this one.
Mm-hmm.
The Modest Mouse album with Float on it.
Nice.
And St. Vincent's Mass Education. So you want to get into some spoilers, or you want to do trailers first?
Let's go ahead and get into trailers, because we've got,
right.
we got 4 of them, so.
I got one other thing.
Hmm.
5 if you count the video game one. But got one other thing. I am currently banned from Twitter for the week.
Nice. What'd you do?
Yeah. I told the president to kill himself.
Oh, okay.
You know. And I even did the appeal thing to talk to somebody, and I even said I'm not appealing. I'm just straight out saying that this won't stop, and I'll continue doing this until he either resigns or actually does it.
I mean, he tells him he justifies violence towards other people all the time. So,
And I'm not saying I'm going to do it. I'm saying he should do it to himself
yep.
because the world will be a better place.
Well, what else? Well, let's go ahead and get into trailers. We only got like
Yeah, let's
four
get
of
into
them.
trailers. We got a couple.
4 of them. So, wait, no, 5. Whatever.
5.
Just
Yeah, yeah.
start. Let's go ahead and just start with the new one.
Pigeon Will Smith.
Pigeon Will Smith.
Pigeon Will Smith.
I don't know. This seems foul.
Hey, you know what? Pigeons aren't foul. Foul are different species.
I know. I'm making a bird joke.
You know, I've learned that life gets a lot easier and a lot better when you start looking at pigeons like they're cute and not that they're like
Flying
ugly
rodents.
disease. Yeah, look at them like they're puppies and not like they're flying rodents, and the world becomes a better place.
That seems to be a common thing nowadays. When animals used to be considered, a danger or a threat or a nuisance, and they're suddenly becoming like pets and shit, like people with pet skunks, or I'm
Oh,
saying,
skunks are adorable.
or like otters or
Possums.
beavers, possums, cougars. I've seen videos of people with pet cougars.
Well, cougars will fuck you up.
Yes, they will, but people have them as pets
Oh,
now. I'm like,
people
what the fuck are you
with
doing?
bugs and stuff. One of the channels I watch is Ants Canada, and the guy has these like terrariums with like ant colonies, and they're beautiful and gorgeous, and it makes me jealous and want them.
Nice.
Like he has like a half a dozen different like ant colonies.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, we got really off subject because my stupid joke, but it's spies in disguise.
Yeah, it looks like it's super spy Will Smith gets turned into a pigeon by scientist Spider-Man.
Yeah. What is it? What is it that, like, after seeing this, I was just like, what was there a demand for this? Was there someone who's like, I want a show about Will Smith being a pigeon? There had to be.
I mean, now that I think about it, I totally could dig a movie about Will Smith being a pigeon.
Well, I've just the movie for you, Brian. It's Spies in Disguise.
What? No
Yeah.
way.
It's about Will Smith who gets turned into a pigeon.
Huh.
What the actual fuck? Like what are we doing nowadays with movies? There's like just combine 2 things that people know about and make a movie out of it. People know about trolls and pop music, so we're gonna make Trolls the movie. We're gonna make people know about pigeons and people love Will Smith, so Will Smith is a pigeon.
That makes perfect sense to me.
They're not even trying anymore.
I mean, speaking of not trying anymore, Reign of the Supermen,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sort of
which
looking
is
into this.
kind of the follow-up, because they just did Death of Superman, and this is the follow-up of Death of Superman, and it introduced a couple characters that we still have around.
Yeah, I'm okay with this, believe it or not. They brought some of the other Superman. Like I don't remember the character's name, but that literal Man of
Oh.
Steel.
Well, they have Steel, Superboy, Cyborg Superman, and the Eradicator, and I think the only one that isn't still around is the Eradicator, which I think he shows up every so often, but he's not. I think he dies or something at the end of the story.
And they didn't bring in the newest Superman, the Chinese Superman. I'm not joking.
Well, he doesn't
that's
exist
real.
yet.
I mean, this would have been the opportunity. This would be the opportunity.
True.
I don't know. Like this looks okay. Like DC's animated movies tend to be 30 times better than their live action. So who knows? This could
They
be
have
good.
the opposite of Marvel.
Oh yeah, most Marvel movies like animated suck.
Yup.
I don't know. I think this looks pretty decent. I'd watch it.
Yeah, I would too. I've been watching most of them. I'd watch this one too. I don't see why I wouldn't watch it. We got a new Mary Poppins movie. The trailer for that.
I don't
It's
know.
Mary Poppins. It is.
Yep, and there's that accent.
Hello, I'm Mary Poppins.
I literally named our last episode after your accent.
Oh yes, I know. Now you kids meant to go to bed.
Uh,
The sad thing is I can do a better English accent than this.
That's
But
not
this is the one that I want to do.
the better English accent is not the point. The point is
No.
to put out the distracting English accent.
Yeah, but Mary Poppins.
I don't know how, but after watching this one, I wanted to watch it less for some reason.
Yeah, I
don't
get
think-
you.
Huh?
I said, yeah, I get you.
Just yeah, seeing with this trailer, I just wanted to watch it a lot less. It was like you removed the magic of the last movie and what you were trying to do. Could just be me though.
Yeah. No, I get it. I feel similar. And then we get an English trailer for that new Pokemon movie. I saw a Japanese trailer this a while ago.
Yeah. I
There
mean,
was something about it that I remember that I was like, that's cool, but I don't remember what it was.
yay, I guess. Is anybody really
I-
watching these anymore?
Oh yeah, apparently the Sun and Moon series was super popular. Like it was one of those things like, oh, people are like, oh, the animation changed, but then like other people were watching going like, no, it's actually really good.
I don't know. I kind of fell
And I actually ended up watching a couple episodes because they had Brock and Misty show back up.
Nice.
And it was I watched them in Japanese because they weren't in English yet. But Brock and Misty came to Alola, and then they spent the episodes comparing Kanto and Alolan forms of the Pokemons.
Of the Pokemons.
Yeah, and it also shows that like Brock and Misty are no slouches in the battles because they fucking like whooped the new kids.
Nice. I mean, they were gym leaders. They are gym leaders.
Yeah.
People seem to forget that.
It's also why they didn't actually like go into the tournaments like Ash did, because they were like, we're gym leaders, we're just how long to hang out.
Yeah. I don't know though. Like, ever since I think it was like the Hoenn, when they were in Hoenn, I stopped really caring because every episode was basically the same thing.
To be honest, that's Gen 3. Gen 3 is my least favorite gen. I understand it was a bunch of kids' first gen, because it was the first one on the Game Boy Advance, but I can't stand Hoenn. Even the remakes. I don't like Hoenn. So,
Go ahead.
Yeah, Gen 3, Hoenn.
I don't know. I like the starters at least. The starters are pretty good.
Well, the starters are fine, and it even has some good Pokemon in there.
Yeah.
It's just, overall, I don't like the Hoenn area.
Fair enough. I didn't really care for Pearl's area because of how much of a pain in the neck it was to eat around sometimes. And also the game was like slower than the others as well. That kind of annoyed me.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm not a. I like Gen 1, 2, and then I actually really like Kalos. I like Gen 6, the Poke Europe.
I'm not gonna lie, I lost a lot of interest for a lot of reasons. One of which they kept doing the same thing every episode, basically, or they would.
Oh, I honestly haven't watched the show in like.
Oh, literally, Hoenn was the last time I watched, and it was like going through entire Hoenn. I think whatever was after, I think it was Diamond and Purple. Whatever was after that, it's like it's the same damn thing.
I honestly want to say I stopped watching when it was still Gen 2 stuff, and I just catch the occasional episode here and there.
Yeah,
I'm talking the games. Gen 3 caused me to quit.
Yeah. Gen 4 almost caused me to quit, just because Pearl, Diamond, and Platinum were just really disappointing games. Like
That's what I hear from a lot of people. But also Gen 4 had Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and those ones are apparently like two of the best.
Yeah, no, like they are. They're good. I like them. But it was Diamond, Pearl, Platinum that almost got me to stop playing the games altogether.
You know what? Gen Ruby and Sapphire got me to quit. I had Diamond and Pearl, but I didn't like touch them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I touched them a little bit. I didn't get very far because I wanted to get through Ruby and Sapphire first.
Mm-hmm.
And I just couldn't get. I lose interest around the time you get the legendary.
the way I have been working lately is I have a hard time sitting down playing these games now, if I can be honest. Like, I still like the games in concept, but I have a hard time playing them because
Oh, I do
grind.
something else while I'm playing them, and Pokemon's one of the few games that I grind
Yeah,
because I have a goal of catching every not including. I don't go for shinies,
right.
but if there's like standard color variants, I'll go for all the color variants, and I won't leave an area until I've caught at least one of every Pokemon in that area.
And I don't do that. I just kind of play the game, go through the journey and everything. But I have a hard time playing them because it's all essentially the same. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm currently caught up. I think the only one I don't have is the remakes of Ruby and Sapphire.
Oh, I have Ruby and Sapphire. I have Alpha Sapphire. I have Sun and Moon. I don't have Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon.
Oh yeah, then I'm sorry, I'm one game behind. But I do have either X or Y. I have one or the other.
I have Y.
I have Sun because the line looked badass. I'm not gonna lie. Um, and I the thing
Oh,
is, and I have black. I think it is. No, I have white. I have the white, and I've not beaten white. I've barely touched X or Y, and I've gotten pretty decently far in Sun and Moon, but that was because I hammered most of that out when I was
it
flying one time.
takes me forever to get through these games because I just said I sit in an area until I've caught every Pokemon that's in the area. I'll sit there with the guide open,
Mhm.
and I won't leave an area until I've caught that Pokemon that has like a 1% chance before I move on. So where other people, oh, I'll finish the game in like a day or two. No, no, no. I'll spend months on it.
I don't, Personally, I just have a hard time getting through these games now.
But I sit there and I do them while I'm doing something else. I'll have the TV on and I'll just kind of be one-handing the Game Boy.
You know what I will do sometimes, just for nostalgia though? I'll bring out red, blue, or gold and silver and just beat it in a day, just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
I'll just break it out and beat it in a day because they're not very long games. They feel like they were longer when I was a kid, honestly.
Oh, they probably were.
Yeah. I mean, I don't do the same thing you do, but I'll get through the entirety of traveling each region, getting each badge, defeating the Elite Four. I could do that in like a day. And then I'm like, well, that was fun. Let's not touch this game for like 4 more years.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and move to some video game talk. They're doing a medieval release.
Yep.
Do you
And
remember this game? I fucking loved this game.
I remember it, but I was like a super young kid when this came out, and it kind of creeped me out as a kid. Now as an adult, I'm not really affected, but some of that still just going by like, I was scared of this game? Why was I scared of this game?
Because it's a little creepy,
Yeah.
and it's all dead stuff, and like one of the weapons you always have is your own arm.
Yeah.
And it's gothy and it's creepy and I love it.
I mean, I look forward to the remake. If I'm going to be honest, it's the only remake I wanted to come back because, we had the Crash Bandicoot Spyro and then this one. And it was like, well, Medieval was kind of like the lesser known of that era.
It was one of the big popular PlayStation games that was.
Did not stand the test of time, unlike the other two.
Yep.
Um,
And it's a good game though, and I'm excited.
I might get it. I might get it. It looks well polished. Looks like they said in the trailer they built it from the ground up. So this may be something worth getting.
Right?
Um,
Sir Dan, I think is who you're playing as.
oh, it's been so long, I don't even remember.
Sir Daniel Fortescue.
Daniel Fortescue. All right.
Yeah. Where you get and I like he showed up in the PlayStation All Stars game, the PlayStation version of Smash.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And the funny thing is like they keep the whole thing of he can't talk because he's missing his lower jaw, so he slurs everything.
Yeah.
And so like his I ended up watching the clips of like the Destin battles for everyone, and his whole Destin battle starts because like the other guy thinks he insulted him, but it's just because he can't talk properly.
I can't talk. Oh, hello. What are you doing? Yeah. Nice.
So speaking of Smash, we should probably talk about that this podcast, and I forgot to put it into our POI.
Yeah, we'll just talk about it in the news.
Yeah, because we got Smash stuff.
Let's go ahead and move on to the next bit here. Some of these I haven't finished or started, so let's be sort of vague.
All right.
Vice versa.
Spoiler talk. Wait.
Talk.
I miss doing it on Trailer Talk, so
Oh.
spoiler corner.
I mean, fuck it. It's our own show. Trailer talk. I'm just saying, it's our show. We can do it when we want.
Oh, yeah. That was Trailer Talk.
No, we need a soundboard. Just go. Bam, 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 bam.
Pwam.
Bwam.
But yeah, we got a couple things to spoilers. Some TV and some video game.
Yep. Let's go ahead and start at the top of this list. Daredevil Season 3.
Yep, Deadpool Season 3.
Deadpool Season 3. Because it's funny, in the email we have here, guys, it says Deadpool Season 3.
To be fair, I'm not the only one making this mistake. There's a couple other people I listen to and watch who keep making the same mistake. And they, like, in one of the guys is even like a comic book reviewer guy, and he even made the mistake. But I watched Daredevil Season 3. It was good. It brought in Bullseye.
Nice.
They do everything but actually call him Bullseye.
Why? They call every other villain their villain name eventually. Why not just call him Bullseye?
I think next season they'll actually, if there is a next season, they'll actually call him Bullseye.
Maybe. What did you think of the season? Any thoughts?
It was good. It was better than the last season, but that's because I hate the Hand. And this season wasn't about the Hand at all. It was dealing with the Kingpin.
Yeah, this is the arc where he's running for mayor, isn't it?
No. Well, it takes parts of it, but no, he's not running for mayor.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Would you recommend it? Is there anything?
I would.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little slow to start off because Daredevil's recovering.
Right.
But overall, it's pretty good. There's some really good fights in there. There's a particular fight in the end where it's Kingpin versus Bullseye versus Daredevil.
So does Bullseye turn on Kingpin?
Yeah. He does. He does.
Okay. I want to say this real quick because I've been thinking about this. Both of us have played the Spider-Man game, and something has occurred to me. I'm pretty sure the Kingpin in that game is stronger than what Kingpin should actually be.
Oh, Kingpin's surprisingly strong. People always, and they even mentioned that in like the comics and some other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Of people always underestimate Kingpin and they think that's fat.
Oh no, like I definitely agree. He is strong. I've never denied that. It's that if you read the comics, he's just a big human, just in general. But in the game, he's bursting people through marble walls, destroying metal pipes.
He can do that. He can do that, actually.
I don't think he's human. Pretty sure he's like Tombstone or Hammerhead.
He probably has done something like that where he's made it so he's made himself stronger. But yeah, Kingpin. One of the things about Kingpin is they always underestimate how strong he is.
Yeah. Well, I always assume it's fat. I mean, and yes, some of it is, but that's not the only thing it is.
It's a lot of muscle.
Yeah.
And he is solidly built.
Yep. He was a prize fighter before he was a Kingpin, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Think so? I could be wrong.
I think so. I think he was a fighter. As a child.
Yep. Let's go ahead and move to the next one.
I'm looking at Kingpin's skills, abilities. Well, the Kingpin has no superhuman powers. He's incredibly strong and significantly more durable than the average human, possessing remarkable strength concealed by his extremely corpulent appearance. Most of his body mass is actually muscle that has been built to extraordinary size, much like a super heavyweight sumo wrestler or some Olympic weightlifters and powerlifters, but at greater strength levels. He has been shown to be strong enough to hurl a man across the room, rip limbs from people, crush a man's skull with his bare hands, and leave imprints in concrete walls after punching them. Defying his size, the Kingpin is a master of many forms of armed and unarmed combat, especially sumo wrestling. His signature move is the bear hug. He has fought Captain America to a standstill in hand-to-hand combat. His daily workout typically consists of simultaneously overcoming 5 or more trained martial artists with his bare hands. He stores his valuables in a safe which has no lock, only a door which is so heavy that only the kingpin himself is strong to open it.
I'm just saying, he doesn't seem human. He doesn't seem...
He's comic book human. Good. He's peak human comic book style.
I'm just saying, like, if he can keep up with Captain, and Captain is genetically altered through chemicals...
Well, Captain America is peak human.
Yeah.
Technically, Captain America isn't considered superhuman in the comic book world. But yeah, so he's that. So speaking of not being human, next thing.
Real quick, I've only seen about 2 episodes of this, just to give you a heads up. But it's the
oh man,
I know. I have a lot of watching to do, but it's the new season of Castlevania.
It's so good.
I'm liking it. I am, because they're like, it's not like a one-sided good versus evil. And
there's so many episodes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spoil a little bit, but there's so many episodes that are just focusing on the bad guys and the politics with the bad guys, and then it'll go to the good guys for a second, and they're just kind of sitting there going like, "Yep, yep."
That's a bad guy, right?
I love the whole relationship between Trevor and Alucard.
Yep. It's kind of like love-hate, but respect, understanding sort of thing.
They want to hate fuck each other so much.
Yep. They really do. They meet each other, and they're like, I hate you. So do I. And then they laugh.
And they're like, fuck you, not fuck you.
I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? You just met, too. You already want to fuck each other. Jesus Christ.
I like Godbrand.
Yeah.
There's nothing you haven't in Godbrand. There's nothing you haven't met that you haven't wanted to turn in. You haven't wanted to sleep on, fuck, or turn into a boat. What's wrong with boats? I'm a Viking. We make boats.
Yeah. I love that line. It was a good line.
But yeah, no, I like Godbrand. I really wish we would, again, spoilers for you, but not huge spoilers. I really wish we'd gotten to know the other generals more.
Yeah.
And because it's like, I want to know the background of these generals, because it's like, oh, you're obviously from India, you're from like the Middle East, you're Chinese.
Yeah, a little bit more context would have been needed, obviously. I do agree with that. Like, you know, who are these people that you gave them enough character design to be different from the random vampires in the background wearing robes? So who are they?
Also, have you gotten to Camilla yet?
I'm only like 2 episodes in, so
I don't remember if she's in the second episode. She's the blonde vampire.
Yeah. They just introduced her basically.
Okay, because she's fucking hot.
I don't know. I could tell power grabber when I see one. I'm good.
Oh no, she's totally a power grabber, and that makes her even hotter, in my opinion.
I don't know. So far, I think this season's been pretty good. What I have watched.
It's good.
Yeah. Go check it if you haven't. There's one not added to this list I wanted to bring up real quick because I've watched about half of the season, and that's the new season or the first season, excuse me, of the new Sabrina show.
Oh yeah, I forgot to add that one. Sorry.
That's fine.
How is that?
Pretty good, honestly. The effects are not really low budget because surprisingly they're not relying a lot on effects. It's more, I mean, how to put it, like coven witch drama as opposed to like look at the magic everywhere it goes sort of thing. And it does kind of revolve around like the satanic cult in her area.
Okay, I know a friend of the show, Laura, hates this show.
Really?
But Laura's actually a Wiccan.
Oh, okay.
And so it's like, yeah, it's one of those things. I'm not going to speak for her, but I know she was not a fan of this show and how it presents witchcraft. Same thing with the Church of Satan. The Church of Satan's apparently suing Netflix.
I'm surprised.
But I think it's over usage of their imagery.
Oh, you mean like Mephistopheles? At one point they had a statue of him.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I liked it for the most part. There was only like, and I'm not finished, mind you, but there was one thing that popped up to me. I had questions about. So
Oh,
let's dissect this for a moment, if you don't mind. So, as you know, in the comic books, Sabrina is in the Archie universe, and they've met, right? They've had crossovers.
yeah.
In the shows, this it's the same thing. Riverdale and Greendale in the same universe. In fact, they brought in Sabrina for Riverdale one time.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But the question that came up, and maybe I'm just overthinking this, but in one scene, Hilda, her aunt, has a job like a comic book store or something like that, and one of the side characters is holding up an Archie comic. Now, the part I wanted to dissect here is, while I'm sure this was meant to be a throwaway cameo, the Arch group actually does exist in this universe. So is it A,
Hmm.
the Archie crew just took on the personas of the Archie comics? Or is it B, do they have a comic book based around them?
I don't know.
Like legitimately, he was holding I some people may not have noticed, but he was holding an Archie comic. I was just like, wait, hold on. How do you have a comic based off of how do you have a comic and then have a show based off of that comic that's not related, but all the characters have the same names?
I don't know.
It's meant to be like a throwaway, kind of like when they showed Amazing
Yeah,
Fantasies 15. But I was like, hold on. But this isn't your continuity. That's the difference. Someone
that's
like,
kind of. Yeah. Hmm.
it's kind of weird, ain't it?
It is a little weird, yeah.
I was just like, how do you? Is someone writing a comic about these kids? Is that why? Or are they taking on the personas of these characters?
Could be any number of things, to be honest.
I don't. Like I said, this is probably meant to be just be a throwaway thing, but you need to keep with the consistency of your own universe, even for like a reference to the
Yeah.
to the original IP. You know, it's like finding old costume designs in Peter Parker's apartment would have been a good throwback. But finding that he has his own comic book in a movie, I'm a little forgiving on the video game, mind you, because it's a video game. I don't know why, just different standard. But for a movie to find like a comic book of himself seems kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. So would you recommend it?
So far, yeah. Um, Based on what you told me, it sounds like Satanists and Wiccanists may not like it. Wiccans
Wiccans?
may not like it because it does portray a very like dark and broody, stabby background kind of thing. Kind of like how people try and portray vampires and series.
Yeah.
It's very much like, and she's supposed to be like the different witch. Like, oh, I don't want to be part of the coven and eat people, which legit happens. Also, I want to point this out. This has a TV 14 rating, and in one episode, a woman slits her throat on screen.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was like, how did this get a TV 14 rating? There's no fucking
Huh.
way. Oh, she slits her throat, and then she gets eaten in the same scene through cannibalism.
Oh.
Yeah. How did that get a TV 14 rating?
I honestly don't know.
Because it's not like they show it off camera. It's not like it's implied with a shadow. It's on screen in the center of the focus. The
Hmm.
only thing they do kind of off camera is they eating the woman part. But they do see like a bunch of people grab a bunch of knives and go towards her dead body, and you can see some like parts, them pulling up parts and stuff of her body. I'm like, how did the fuck did you get a TV 14 rating?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Uh, the rating bureau's always been kind of biased anyway.
Yeah, yeah, they have. So you want to go into some video games?
I think you still have one more here, don't you?
Oh, do I? Oh yeah, Hill House. So near Halloween, I watched Haunting of Hill House. It's super good and spooky, and I highly recommend it.
Nice, nice.
Um, there's a lot of stuff that fucks with you. There's actually some legit good scares.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no, I recommend Hill House to everyone. It jumps back in the 90s to the modern day, and it keeps jumping back and forth as you find out what happened and what really happened and all this other stuff. And it's, yeah. There is one thing, though, that I caught that bothered me a little bit.
What's that?
So, back in the 90s, when it's supposed to be in the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
they, had a... Oh, he's playing video games,
Mm-hmm.
and it's in the 90s, early 90s, and there's a Transformers toy by the TV.
Mm-hmm.
That Transformers toy didn't come out till the 2000s.
Oh, they just got fact checked.
And it's one of those things of like nobody else would have noticed it, but I'm like, wait a moment, I know that toy. That's the guy Cyclonus turns into in Cybertron. And so I looked it up real quick, checked the thing to make sure there wasn't an earlier version. It's like no, Snowcat. And give me 1 second.
Oh my god, we can now fact check shows if they have Transformers in it. We have a Transformers expert on the show. We can now call people out on their shit. Sweet.
Oh, I'm no expert, but I do know where to go.
Even if you're not an expert, you recognize when things are wrong. You're like that, like whenever Neil deGrasse Tyson calls up movies that are scientifically inaccurate. Even if he doesn't know it, he'll be like, hey, wait a minute, that doesn't seem right, and then he'll look into it.
Yeah, so Snowcat, who is Cyclonus's transformation, didn't come out until 2004.
Huh.
Yep, and it wasn't transformed all the way either, which is fine because it's supposed to be a kid's toy,
Right.
and kids often don't transform their stuff all the way. But still, it's like, wait a moment, that Transformer didn't come out until 2004. This is supposed to be in the early 90s.
Yeah. All right. Good job. We're gonna hold
Yeah.
Netflix accountable. Hashtag real
Yep.
Transformers. I also, by the way, there was one movie I want to add to this list that I saw recently.
Oh, what'd you see?
I saw Overlord. Which,
Oh, how was that?
Okay. One thing. While I see traces of Abram in it, I think it's weird that they touted it because he basically just threw money at it. He was just an executive producer. But all over the advertisement for it, they're like, from J.J. Abrams, like, yes, he executive produced it, but he didn't direct it or write it. This was done by other people, so I thought that was weird. I guess
Gotcha.
yeah, I guess just because the name carries weight now. But
that happens.
how to put it? It was sort of good, but sometimes a little hard to watch. Because it is, for all intents and purposes, a zombie movie, like a zombie Nazi movie. But it also gets kind of grotesque. Like, without spoiling anything, one of the characters gets put on a meat hook.
Ew.
Now,
Okay.
it's not like Texas Chainsaw Massacre sort of bad, where you see the skin being pulled up, because he kind of dug the hook into, under the ribs.
Right.
And he was wearing a uniform, so you didn't really see the piercing of the skin. But
yeah.
a lot of it was kind of cringeworthy, but also kind of unintentionally funny too.
Okay.
Yeah, and it kind
would
of
you recommend it?
No,
No.
I really Don't get me wrong. I enjoy the company I was with. Hi, Emily, if you're listening. I enjoyed the company I was with, but honestly, no, I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, if you like horror movies, then yeah, I know a lot of people who love horror movies, but if you're just a movie fan, I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
All right. Now we can go into video games if you would like.
Oh, yes. But yeah, Hill House, I highly recommend. I don't want to say too much because basically everything's a spoiler.
Well, I'm not gonna
Just
lie.
go watch it.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably not gonna watch it, but I mean, our listener probably appreciates that.
Really? Why won't you watch it?
Horror's kind of overdone.
This is actually good horror.
I don't know, honestly, back on Halloween, I saw Halloween, the original '78 movie. It holds up surprisingly well as a movie. I will say that. Like, parts of it obviously don't hold up well because it took place in 78. It was released in 78, but as a movie, it still holds together rather well. And also weirdly simplistic. But I just, watching more horror movies again recently, I was like, a lot of this is not my cup of tea. I'm not really scared. It's just, like, it's a lot of movies try and build fake tension. They don't build tension, so I don't feel it. I guess the best way to explain it.
I gotcha. This one's actually very good. I'm not a big thing on horror, but it's doing very good for it's very good at building tension. That tension actually gets to you, and like most horror I find relies too much on like the jump scares, and this is actually very suspenseful and it builds wonderfully. Nice. And like by the time you're like 2 episodes in, you're like, oh shit, I need to watch the rest of this. Yeah, I would give it the 3-episode try.
The 3-episode try. If you don't like it by the 3rd, go ahead and pass. But if you do like it, just keep going. I gotcha. Yeah. All right. Well, good. All right, let's go check out Hill House. I've seen rave reviews on it on all the news channels as well, like Kotaku and Polygon and whatnot. They're talking about how good the series is.
It's a good series.
All right, let's go ahead and move on because we've got like a lot of stuff to review today. Let's go ahead and move on to video games.
So this over a couple weekends ago, a much anticipated sequel to a much loved game came out. That's right, Deltarune.
Which is an anagram for Undertale.
It's a sequel / alternate universe of Undertale. And it got people to shut up about RDR2 for a weekend.
I mean, it didn't stop me from doing it.
It's amazing because if you watch like the Twitters, oh yeah, I got banned from Twitter for a week. Did I mention that earlier?
Yeah. Just carrying that with a badge of honor.
Yep. But it got people for like a weekend. People stopped talking about Red Dead Redemption, and we're only talking about Deltarune. It was magical.
Nice.
And then they went back to talking about Red Dead after the weekend, but they stopped talking about Red Dead for a weekend.
Yep. What did you think of Deltarune? I know it's only a demo at the moment, but what did you think?
It was fun.
Was it?
It was fun. I ran through it 3 times.
Nice. Is there anything you want to critique? Is there anything that you noticed you really liked?
This one gives a whole sense of choices don't matter, unlike the first one where choices matter, but it's also a demo first part chapter, and there's going to be a lot more later. It's a quick game. You can, if you don't count the optional fight, you can get through it in like a couple hours.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, a friend of mine has already check out Direct Play Challenge on YouTube. He's already put out a let's play of it and given his opinion. He's liked it as well.
Yeah, it's pretty good, and it's free, so there's no excuse not to play it. I understand if you suck at bullet hells, I guess that's an excuse not to play it. But if you don't suck at bullet hells, pick it up. It's 100% free.
Nice.
Soundtrack's great as always.
Great. Nice. You get good sound design. Good. How's the level design?
Pretty good, actually. It's still quaint. It's still charming. They changed the combat just a little bit. Instead of having 1 person, you now have 3. But if you liked Undertale, you'll probably like Deltarune.
Nice. I'm gonna go ahead and speak about. Well, I mean, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh no, I was done.
I got 2 games I need to talk about here, but let's start about the big release, and you already said this, Red Dead Redemption 2.
I have no plans on buying this game currently. I may buy it in the future. I have to stand by my convictions.
I got the game not knowing we'll talk about it later in the show, but not knowing the news, because a lot of the stuff didn't come out like publicly for everyone to see it until after the game came out. But the game is good. I'll just let you know. Level design is pretty good. My only real complaint, besides the fact your horse dies way too damn easily, I've lost like 4 horses, by the way.
Oh, I've from what I've heard from people is this game they changed if you actually break it down. So from what I've heard of this game, it's like go find this one thing and it takes you like 3 hours to find that one thing. Because you have to like say hunt the deer, track the deer, kill the deer, skin the deer, and now you got one deer. But apparently the time it's supposed to take you to do that one thing was about the same time that in the other games, in the older game, in Red Dead Redemption 1, where it'd be like kill 10 deer should take you about the same amount of time.
In my opinion for that, I didn't really run into that issue. Now the stories themselves, like the missions you have to go through, they can take a bit longer, and one of which is hunting. That took me like I think like 10, 20 minutes. But when you're out and about doing your own thing, it's really not that hard. I went hunting just for the hell of it, so I could have some food. Honestly, I had my only other complaint. Well, I had 3 in total. One was horses died too easily. The other one was I didn't need to see the animals skinned. I have a thing with bones. Yeah,
okay.
I have a thing about bones. Leaving that aside, though, when you skin them, you actually see the carcass post skinning.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that personally, I don't like the sight of that. I know hunters who do, hunters who like to, don't mind it. I am not one of those people. I hate the sight of bone. That aside, my only other complaint is that the sound design in comparison to the last game is rather lackluster. A lot of the songs in this game have been okay, just kind of background noise, nothing spectacular. And while Red Dead Redemption 2 didn't have a ton of great songs, they still had some good songs in it. It wasn't just part of the background. That's how I feel about this game.
Okay.
I still recommend getting it under the idea that it is a video game. Now, socially, that's something we'll get into later, but as a video game, I would recommend getting it, especially if you're a fan of the original Red Dead, because this is like almost a direct prequel to Red Dead Redemption, the first game.
Is it a prequel?
Yes. It happens
Shit.
right before... I haven't beaten the game yet, but it's before John almost dies and he separates from Dutch's gang. You're playing Arthur Morgan, who's part of Dutch's gang, and you... Basically, what you're trying to do is live the bandit life while running from the Pinkertons and other gangs trying to come after you. So it's pretty good, but it kind of feels like a fall from grace story so far. Personally, it feels like that. I would still suggest it as a video game, though. The cutscenes are done well. It was pretty accurate to the time. Some of the stuff actually matters. Like in hunting, you actually have like a scent aura, which some people, you laugh. Some people laugh at it or go ooh, but legitimately, animals' ability to find you is based on scent as well, and they actually have like scent maskers whenever you're going hunting, like actual hunters. So I like the small details personally. Your character can actually build up grime over time, or like if you skin an animal and then you will find the blood on your gloves and it takes a while for it to come off. Or
one thing I heard about some people, like somebody else I was watching, they said like they kept getting caught when they were robbing things because they went to go rob. Like, well, why am I getting caught? I'm wearing a mask. It's like, well, it's because you're wearing the same clothes and riding the same horse you wear all the time.
Yeah. And you had mentioned in a previous episode how you wanted to be able to rob a train. You can rob a train if you want. You can rob a train.
Yay.
You can rob a train. You can literally rob somebody at gunpoint. That is literally an option. You could just go up to a person and click the rob button.
All right.
You can rob stagecoaches. You can...
Sorry,
okay,
keep going.
You can rob stores. Like if you wanted to be a despicable person, you can do it. And I have robbed trains because I'm apparently a despicable person. Yeah, got a stick of dynamite and blew up some safes too.
Ooh.
Yep. I suggest it as a game. Now the social
Alright,
aspect. Yeah.
I'm gonna wait till until like a Game of the Year version comes out or it drops in price or something. Because right now I'm not gonna pay full price for it.
Yeah. And the next one I want to talk about is I was in the beta for Fallout 76 for like
How was it?
I'm gonna give my explanation in the beginning, and then I'll go into details after that.
Okay. Because I talked with a friend about it, and I'm disappointed.
If you
But I'll
like,
let you explain it.
if you like Fallout 4, you'll probably like this. If you didn't like Fallout 4, you will not like this. But if you're an MMO person, you will definitely not like it, because it touts as an MMO, but with the way things are, and mind you, this is still just a beta. This could be different when the game comes out. But even though it was running with my friends, with a lack of human NPCs, it felt rather empty. Honestly, everything
That's what I heard.
it just
That's
felt. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, the friend I was talking to about it, that's what he had said as well. Hi Cole, I don't know if you listen to me, but keep going. I have an opinion on it from based on what he told me, and it's my own personal issues with games like this. But
Yeah.
keep talking.
Like honestly, it was a fine game. I'll probably end up buying it, and not just because I've already got like 3 other friends who are interested. So it's social aspect, but it's like it's a decent enough game. But I already found what the nuke codes, by the way. I'm not even 10th level yet. That aside, though.
Oh no.
You had to get like 3 of them or something like that, so it's gonna be a bit. Regardless,
Okay.
though.
Right.
And while it's a beta, I come to a few glitches. Obviously, one of the problems I had, and I'll post these on Twitter, is that my friend's character model got really warped for reasons still not clear.
Oh, did you experience the whole? I've heard there was issues with inventory, and there was also frame rate was no, your speed was based on frame rate. So if you looked at the ground, you moved faster.
I didn't have that issue because I just played the game as is. I didn't like go for the glitches. But
Oh no, but actually, it is a thing there that was shown that the game's your speed is directly linked to your frame rate.
yeah,
So if you look at the ground, you actually run faster.
I'm gonna post these on Twitter, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just upload one to you. But and I was playing in this image, which I'll post on Twitter. Like I said,
What?
I'm the character
We'll
on the left.
Okay, let me check.
It's
Yeah,
still loading.
Oh, I was checking stuff real fast while you were talking. The guy who voiced Hal 9000 died
Oh,
today.
well, damn.
Yeah. Douglas Rain. He was known for providing the voice of Hal 9000. He passed, and its sequel 2001 and 2010. Yeah, he passed away today.
Well, that sucks.
He was 90 years old.
Whoa, that's a long-lived life.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Dave, but
Yeah.
I can't let you do that.
Can't let you do that, Dave. I went ahead.
I'm scared, Dave.
I'm sending you the screenshot. My character's on the left. My friend's character's on the right. This was the character model issue I was talking about. I also have another image I'll send to you as well, but our tire swing not attached to anything. Yeah, look at that.
There it is. Okay. Huh.
I'm the character on the left wearing the vault suit. He's the Uncle Sam looking dude. And my character is perfectly well proportioned in game, but his character had some character model issues.
Huh.
Didn't stop me from laughing my head off. I'm not gonna lie. It was hilariously bad. We had called him Giant Uncle Sam until I eventually realized like he looks kind of creepy. Let's go with Creepy Uncle Sam. So
Creepy giant Uncle Sam.
Creepy Giant Uncle
No,
Sam.
the thing I was talking about the friend is the friend's like, oh, this game's fun when you're playing with other people, but if you play solo, it's not very fun. And I don't like playing online. Like, I
Yeah.
don't like using the mics. I don't like doing your standard online setup. Basically, I only play single player unless it's couch. Unless I'm in the same room as the other person. Oh, I'll do LAN. I will do LAN, but I have to be in the same room as the person I'm playing with.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I can do online, but that's because I have to. All my friends live in different cities, but personally, I prefer to be in person. Uh, honestly,
And the thing is I actually don't like playing with my friends online either because of that.
I would prefer it, but I don't always get the opportunity. That's the main reason why. Honestly,
See, I don't even go for the opportunity. I have friends like play online with us. I'm like, no, I don't want to.
if I'm gonna be honest, it's a fun enough game. If this was sold as a solo game, I wouldn't have played it at all. I wouldn't buy it, excuse me. But because it's an online game and I get to do my own thing with my friends, we can start forts and all kinds of shit. Like we're already starting our own faction,
I
legitimately.
probably won't buy it or play it. If it comes out for a free version comes out, I may play it. Like I'm definitely not buying this.
Yeah.
100% I will not buy this. If it comes out, a free version comes out, yeah, I'll play that. I'll give that a try. Or if they do a full single player version, I'll also play that.
It wouldn't be honestly. There's not enough in
No,
the
I
world
mean
for a single
adding
player.
add single player, add computer NPCs.
Okay, I gotcha. Well, like they have like robots and stuff, but right
Or let
now,
me play as a ghoul.
I'm surprised they haven't a goal as an option at this point. I know there are people who legitimately want to play the game, but you're just playing a human, so I thought that was kind of
Yeah,
weird.
I'm not looking forward to it. I don't plan on buying it. I hope you have fun, but until it's either free to play or I don't know, PlayStation like month, PSN exclusive for that month, I'll play it then, but
If I'm gonna be like perfectly honest, if I didn't have friends who were playing it, I probably wouldn't buy it.
I've had friends like going on to the whole playing online with friends. All my friends have such shitty mics, and I don't want to hear your voice over a shitty mic. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm talking to you, all of you. Your mic sucks. I don't want to hear your voice through the grrr. And the very first thing I do when I play a game that's online is I turn off voice chat. I turn it off completely, and I pretend like everyone I'm fighting is an NPC.
Generally, when I play MMOs, if I'm playing with friends, I just use like Skype or Discord. I
I
don't.
use text. I just use text. I don't use talk. I don't talk at all. And actually, another thing with me is when I play a lot of games, I don't talk.
I don't talk a lot. I will, but like I plan, like hey, we need this, go do this. I'm not like a bossy person, but like, hey, we need
Even then,
this.
I still just use chat. I use the text.
Gotcha. I can't really do text because I'm not. I'm a decent typer or a decent speed typer, but I'm not fast enough to get things across when I need it to be. So that's why I prefer voice. Um, I don't
I
know.
I I stumble over my words too much, and then other people, and then like you have like that 12-year-old who's in there screaming, and I hate that person, and I want
Yeah.
them to die.
Well, that's usually why I mute people, and then I just use like my whatever voice program, like
Oh,
Skype or Discord or
I
whatever.
I mute everyone.
In what honestly, here's my final ruling on it, just based on the beta. If you have friends to play with or are willing to be sociable, I'm not, but I know people who are. If you are one of those people, go ahead and get it. I think it'd be better with friends. It literally is better with friends. But if you're a solo player, like I am most of the time, and I know like you are, I would say pass, like a hard pass.
Hard pass.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm only getting it because I have friends who will be playing it. If it was just me, I wouldn't get it.
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and get into news.
Oh yeah, we got some news. All right, where are we starting? On some, we got the Despicable Me Aria movie.
Despicable Me producer planning to bring him into a Mario movie. Can we not? Can we please not? Just no.
Swing your hips from side to side. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
No, please, no. We don't. Okay, first off, I generally prefer Mario to not speak. We don't need a movie where he would speak a majority of the time.
Oh,
Yeah. That's the thing. I'm not even Italian in heritage, and even I find his like accent
me
kind
is a
of
Mario.
yeah. That's kind of like that's kind of super not cool. But why do we need a movie? Like, legitimately, why do we need a movie
I don't know.
about
They're
this?
making a Sonic movie with Jim Carrey as Dr. Eggman.
Still makes more sense because Sonic is a talker. Mario is quiet like 98% of the time.
Ravioli!
Yeah. Pipes! Ooh!
Italian stereotype!
Basically.
Luigi! Come, brother! We must save the Mushroom Kingdom!
Look, maybe because it's a little different, because I didn't grow up watching, and you might have, the Mario Saturday morning
I caught
shows.
a glimpse of it in syndication.
Yeah, the Mario Saturday morning cartoon. But I'm not just saying we should ban all Mario movies because the Mario Brother movies that came out in the 90s. You know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know that one. That one's amazing.
Not just because how terrible that is, but honestly, no, we don't need a Mario movie.
Well, you don't want Bob Hoskins,
No.
Luigi Leguizamo,
John Leguizamo. Yeah,
yeah.
well, actually, I like Leguizamo, but no. We don't need another Mario movie. We're good. I already have one, and it's terrible. We don't need another one, and that's just in general, not just because of how bad that movie was. Like a Spyro movie, it would be more welcome, to my opinion, than a Mario movie. Or it's like making.
No, a Spyro movie would be a Skylanders movie, to be honest.
Well, no, I'm just saying as an example. It's like, don't bring in your silent characters to for a movie. Like, you're not gonna bring in anybody from Half-Life to make their own movie. It was like, "Hello, Freeman," and he just stares at you. And if you gave him a voice, it just seems wrong. To me.
It's the problem with my problem with Dead Space 2.
The silent protagonist
Suddenly starts talking, and it's like, no,
no,
stop talking.
Yeah, if you're gonna make a silent protagonist, you cannot give him a movie. If you're gonna give him a voice in like another video game, you have to kind of ease us into it, because for an entire game, all we heard was grunts, or in the case of Mario, whoop. Yeah.
Well, you know what? In Mario 64, if you sat still long enough, he would start talking in his sleep.
I'm just saying, either they need to start getting to the point where he talks more in video games before we get this movie, or just don't do it. Leaving that pause in.
Yeah, that's fine. I get you.
That's my opinion, though.
Okay. Rick Grimy Grimes trilogy. Speaking of movies that don't need to be made.
Yep.
Walking Dead trilogy of films starring Rick Grimy Grimes.
Well,
or as I like to call him, Grimy.
Grimy. I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, he's leaving the show, but to compensate, they're making movies. I'm like, why? Just why?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm with you. We don't need this. Who wants this movie? Seriously, I don't even saw.
Apparently, Walking Dead still has a ton of fans.
Yeah, like I know they do, and they have they have a whole after show for the show. How many shows do you know have after shows? You're not gonna see
Yeah.
I mean, but why do we
talking everything? So
yeah,
talking this, talking. I just watched the show. You don't need to talk about it. No.
What the fuck do we need to talk about? The show has happened. Done.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure maybe we're in the minority, and I'm not just saying this because I'm tired of zombies. But why do we need a movie like this?
Because people want it.
I guess.
Yeah. That's about the best I can say. Blah blah blah. Oh, there was some revealed stuff from behind the scenes of Wizard of Oz, and they had almost cut the most famous song from the movie.
Somewhere upon the rainbow.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Somewhere over the rainbow. There we go.
You know, the song that Dorothy sang when she was high. Extremely, extremely high.
I'm a little surprised they cut that. I mean, I'm glad they didn't. Even if I don't really care for the Wizard of Oz, I'm glad they didn't, but...
And without that song, Izzy Kamalo, I can't pronounce Hawaiian name, so I'm not even going to try. But Israel Izzy, that Hawaiian guy, would never have done his famous one, and he would never become the most famous Hawaiian of modern time.
Yeah. I
How
mean,
old was Judy Garland when she was making this movie?
it's like 20, I think.
No,
The
she
character's
was
supposed to
younger
be
than
like
that.
8, but
1922, when she was born. Wizard of Oz came out in 39, so let's say 38 when they were working on it.
yeah.
1938 minus 1922. She was 16.
Okay.
And yeah, she was on they pumped her full of drugs.
She was in a lot of
They just to keep her working, just to keep her working. Like,
pain. Yeah.
there was a lot of um, like caffeine pills and cigarettes and like speed and the 1930s version of like meth.
Amphetamines. Yeah. I'm not surprised by this. The lady who played the Wicked Witch of the West legitimately got burned in one scene.
Mm-hmm. That's
Like,
the way these old. Do yourself a favor and watch like old like shows and old movies and watch the stunts.
oh, you say that, and yes, they are amazing, but I always like to use this use this one as an example. It's that Buster Keaton sketch in which he like walks out of his house and then like the front of
Oh,
his house falls on him.
yeah.
Legitimately, if he had missed a step by like 1 second, he would have died.
He broke his back filming a scene on there. There's one where like I'm watching. I don't remember who it was at the moment, but he's running from his car, and there's the cars driving over people mining, and like they have to time it just right so they don't get hit by the car.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. It's great. I love these old, and it's stuff that's like, no, we can't do that. We can't do that anymore. There's too many safety regulations, which is a good thing, but at the same time, you watch some of these old movies and you're like, oh man, that's so
It's like a train wreck. It's beautiful, but kind of scary at the same time. Because like, wow, this is so well done, and so well timed. But if they missed it by like half a second, somebody would have lost their head or some
shit.
shit.
I'm still looking at that Wizard of Oz thing. Oh, watch the bank heist. That's the one.
Okay.
Okay, here it is. W.C. Fields. Curmudgeon. He basically was a super drunk. But the movie. There it is. If you watch The Potter's Bank. Oh. And you've probably, if you look him up. Oh, The Bank Dick. That's it. Watch The Bank Dick. And watch the stunts in The Bank Dick. It's pretty easy to find. It's a 1940s comedy. And if you watch him, you'll like, they've they've used his character likeness in like old like Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen that old like that fat guy with the cigar? He's kind of squinting and he's kind of like angry.
Yeah.
That's him. That's
Gotcha.
W.C. Fields.
Gotcha.
He hates dogs and children.
But yeah, so they released the cast for the new for chapter 2 of Stephen King's It. Well, let's see. The release date for it's going to be September 6th of next year. The director, of course, is going to be, and I'm not going to pronounce his last name because I don't want to say it wrong, but first name is Andy. Reprising his role as Bill Skarsgård, but for supporting roles we Jessica Chastain, James McAvoy,
Ooh,
Sophia
James
Lillis.
McAvoy.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Oh, Finn Wolfhard.
Sophia Lillis, and then the writer for this will be Gary. Let's just call him Gary. So yeah, we got a bit of a cast list. So people are really looking forward to this. People love to be scared. That's what it comes down to.
The first one was really good, actually.
What I'm surprised about is that they're not releasing it a little bit closer to Halloween, given that it's a horror movie. They're going for late September.
No, that's fine. But I think it'll be good. I like the first one. They did a really good job. It was rightfully creepy.
Nice.
It was overall I think better than the original one.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Tim Curry is a treasure, but the rest of the movie was not great. The series, excuse me. The
Yeah.
rest of the series was not
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, it was a mini series. People forget that.
Yeah. It wasn't that like I said. Tim Curry sold it, but for the rest of it, it just wasn't good.
Oh
Honestly.
shit. So I'm still reading through this Wizard of Oz thing and it's like all this was terrible. Like the guy who played the Tin Man was allergic to the makeup and
Yep.
like it hospitalized him.
Yep. The lady played the Wicked Witch, the West, literally burned herself in that scene when she's escaping Munchkin Town. You know, the poof of smoke.
Yeah.
She legitimately
Yep.
got burned with like third-degree burns.
Toto made more money than the Munchkins.
It's a dog. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love dogs, but that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it. I am excited for it.
All right, let's go ahead and move to the next one. And Tyler Parrish killing Medea. All things are lost.
Well, I can retire now. Nah, yeah, his ruling for it is he doesn't want to be the same age as Medea playing her.
Gotcha. I mean, I don't blame him for that, but literally Medea is his most popular character.
Yeah, it's one of those things I feel this is going to be very temporary.
Yeah. Well, because, like, personally, I don't care for most of his movies. Most of the movies are.
I've seen a couple of them. Um, I've actually seen the Halloween ones in theaters because I went with my friend, and I was like the white guy in there watching it, and they're not awful, but they're not great.
I don't know. I think the person dressing in drag in a fat suit has kind of been killed for me with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy and
Big Mama's house meets Medea
yeah,
meets the Clumps.
Mr. Clumps, and there's probably like one other. Oh, Norbert. We forgot about Norbert. Eddie
Oh,
Murphy.
that's the one I was thinking of.
Well, that one too, because he did like two or three characters, and like one or two of them had. Goes back to ha ha ha. It's funny because they're fat. Which doesn't do much for me as a fat guy. Not gonna lie. But I don't know. Maybe this isn't my type of movie. I guess it's not one I would enjoy because it's just like it's funny because the character's old and mean and fat.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Not really my thing.
I understand.
All right. Do you want to move on to TV news?
Yeah, let's move on to some TV news. I'm gonna say this once. I'm only gonna say it once. Adi Shankar does not speak for The Simpsons.
That is correct. So, I mean, if you want to go to the news story, go ahead. I'm doing a lot.
Okay, so this is similar to that thing a couple weeks ago we ran into of the rumor of Henry Cavill stopped playing Superman, and he's like, wait, no, I'm still playing Superman. Adi Shankar said a thing of The Simpsons is gonna kill off Apu.
Well,
And people ran with it. People accepted, like, oh yeah, they're gonna kill off Apu. It took Al Jean, who is the current showrunner of The Simpsons, to go, no, Adi Shankar does not speak to The Simpsons.
well, let's be a little precise here because he did go up to the creator of The Simpsons and say, "I will." He pitched them an idea how to get around this Apu controversy, as Adi Shankar does. He tries to work on pre-existing stuff for whatever reason, but they rejected it, and then he said it looks like they're gonna kill off Apu. But you're right, Al Jean says comes out. He's not a producer. He doesn't have any sway regarding what happens to
Because
Apu.
so many people were acting like Adi Shankar was talking for The Simpsons. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, Adi Shankar does not speak to The Simpsons. Now, if you talk to Mike Reese, who was another showrunner of The Simpsons, not showrunner, but he was another person who worked on The Simpsons, he was a producer. Technically, Apu has been silently killed off for like 3 years now.
Yeah,
Take a look at the episodes. He's not in them anymore.
or he's
He
been
barely shows up.
Yeah, he'll just show up in background, or I think they had one in the last like 2 or 3 years, one recent episode where it was a focus on him, but they really stopped focusing on him altogether.
Now, I've been keeping myself pretty quiet over this whole Apu business because I have my own opinions, but I don't want to start anything. I do think what they should do is recast him. Don't kill him off, just recast him. He is definitely a sign of the times,
Yeah.
but he's not a bad sign. Like, Apu was a good character, but he's definitely a sign of the times.
Yeah. Well, like, him and a few other characters really don't fit well anymore.
Bumblebee Man?
Bumblebee Man, what was it? They had, excuse me, any ignorance, but there was a character back in, like, the 5th season that was gay that, like, saved Homer. He was kind of a stereotype.
Oh, yeah, there's a couple gay stereotype characters. You know what's a good gay character in The Simpsons? The one played by John Waters.
What does he play?
He was the one in the one episode of Homer's Phobia.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Well, I was referring to the one where he roommated with two,
Those guys are definitely stereotypes.
Yeah, and they'll bring back that, I don't remember his name, but they'll bring back one of those characters whenever they need, like, a gay joke or, something like that or whatever.
At least it's not as bad as Family Guy and their gay jokes.
Yes. There's can get kind of really super annoying.
Yep.
But they don't plan on killing Apu, they just plan on putting him in the background.
Yep.
They do that sometimes. This is why you haven't seen...
It happens.
It's one of the reasons why, I mean, for different reasons, obviously, but it's one of the reasons why we don't see, like, I can't remember his name, the lawyer.
Phil
Hartman.
Lionel Hutz. Phil Hartman, because Phil Hartman died.
Yeah, but this is the thing, though. This is Hollywood.
They silently, they killed him off.
Yeah.
Without killing him off.
And it's like, it's Hollywood. They probably have a Phil Hartman voice, like somebody like Phil Hartman that could have filled the voice, but they chose not to.
I am Phil Hartman.
Yeah.
You may remember me from such shows as WKRP in Cincinnati and The Simpsons, as well as my roles on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, they probably have voice imitators that could do it, but they...
I want robots.
Huh?
I want them to be a robot.
Want him to be a robot? Nice.
Yep.
And mind you, they removed him for a different reason, but they phase out characters all the time.
Lots of shows do it.
Yeah. So it's not uncommon. I think they'll just kind of, like, just stop talking about him, and he won't come up anymore. Maybe just, like, occasional scenes where he says hi to Homer or whatever.
Hello, Homer.
All right. Let's go move on to the next one.
This one I'll let you take care of because you are the more
fan.
of the Witcher fan than I am.
So we get an image of Geralt, I'm forgetting his name now for some reason. We just talked about him. Henry Cavill.
Superman?
Yeah.
Henry
Cavill's Geralt. And how to put it? He is too pretty.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
That, like, don't get me wrong. I mean, he's a pretty good actor, so so far I have no complaints about him as the actor. But he is too pretty for him to look like Geralt, because Geralt is the rough, I guess what's the term here? Not rough, but rugged. He is the rugged type.
He's rugged.
Yeah. So Henry Cavill was just kind of like, I guess, man pretty. I don't know what you want to call it.
Yeah.
I
get you.
Yeah, I was like, it doesn't really work as a Witcher fan. This where I'm like, no, come on, guys. I know you couldn't. It's too late because he may be too old for this. But if I would have chosen, it would have been Ron. What's his name? He played as Hellboy in the last series.
Oh, Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman. I would imagine Ron Perlman, but he's getting a little up there in age, so he probably may not want to do it. But
yeah. Also, Ron Perlman's kind of a bigger set guy.
Yeah. Well, Geralt.
How'd you feel if Cavill had a beard?
It might be a little bit different.
Bearded Geralt.
It might be a little bit different, if I'm going to be honest, because at least it had some ruggedness to him.
but this is he in a literal sense. He's too pretty as he is. Like shaven Geralt doesn't look. He doesn't look good as a Geralt. Is what I'm trying to say. Maybe if he had a beard, it might be a different situation, or at least like a I don't know, I want to say mustache, but a little bit more hair on his chin than what's there.
Yeah.
And as a guy who shaves every week, that's saying something. That's my opinion. He's too pretty to play. The image shows him being too pretty to play Geralt, in my opinion. Now
maybe once the show actually is filmed, it might look a little better.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind the bard though. He would make. There's a character whose name who keeps escaping me, like Daffodil or something like that. That I'd be fine with. That would make a little more sense because he's a bard. You play D&D, you know what bards are like.
Yeah.
So that would make more sense. But he's too pretty for Geralt. We need someone who looks rugged for Geralt.
Okay, I get you.
So, let's go and move on. Loki is getting his own TV show.
I really do hope that it's it's more of the Journey into Mysteries comic based, where it's basically Loki going through like other worlds. That's how I want it to be. It's basically Loki trouncing around other worlds and universes and stuff, doing Loki stuff.
Is there any particular reason, or is it just that was your first?
I feel that'd be the best one for this situation with the character of Loki. I feel Loki could easily become too much if you basically... Because Loki is popular because you only get little bits of Loki here and there, and it's like, okay, he's fun, and I feel like one of the best Loki comics is the Journey into Mysteries comics, and it's basically more or less Loki is going from different space to different space, going through the 9 realms, and basically like cheating people.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think it can hold a movie or a series. Excuse me. If I'm going to be honest, maybe a movie.
That's why I said this one. That's why I said this. That's why I wanted it to be Journey into Mysteries. Otherwise, he will not be able to hold his own series.
Now, don't get me wrong.
Because
my opinion is nothing. Go ahead. Sorry.
Keep going. Because basically, to put the Journey into Mysteries into it is you can have Loki be in the background and him just being there while these other stuff happens, and so you take the focus off of him.
Yeah.
He's just the mouthpiece to get you from place to place.
I'm saying we could probably get like 1 hour and a half movie out of Loki, and my criticism is not against Tom Hiddleston. He is a good actor. He does a good job. So there's nothing against him. I just don't think the character can carry much. Because what's there to the character really?
Yeah, no, I get you. I kind of agree. I don't think it'll last very long. But if they do anything, it should be Journey into Mysteries, because that'd probably be the only way they can do it.
Yeah. All right. You want to go and move on?
Speaking of Disney things on there, Star Wars series takes place before Rogue One. Star Wars. We know this because Diego Luna is reprising his character from Rogue One, and we know he kind of gets exploded.
Yep. Which, we've discussed this, but I figured he was going to die at the end of Rogue One. That aside. I welcome an actual, TV series for Star Wars. It may be better in the long run, honestly.
The other ones were, the 3D animated ones were good.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Star Wars, as much as I like Star Wars movies, the storytelling that a lot of people are trying to do may be better as a television run as opposed to a movie trilogy.
That's how I feel about a lot of Marvel characters too. It'd be better as a television than a
single movie. Yeah.
Fantastic Four. I think Fantastic Four would work better as a series.
I agree, and it's because they have a lot that goes on. There's a lot of things that could happen, and that's, I don't know. For this, I feel like that Star Wars may be better off as a series, even if it's different shows than as individual movies.
Yeah.
Like a Han Solo show would be pretty cool.
Right? That would have been cool.
Yeah. Kind of do it, not literally speaking, but kind of do it in the general idea of Firefly, where just he's a smuggler throughout space kind of thing.
He's smuggling.
I mean, I welcome the concept is basically what I'm saying. I welcome the concept of a Star Wars series.
I'd be down for it too.
Yeah.
Speaking of Star Wars series, I'm gonna move on to the next thing as well. The Boba Fett movie series is being canceled, but I do believe the crew of that one is going to be working on the Mandalorian show,
Well, that's good.
the Jon Favreau Mando show. So that's
Yeah.
a plus.
Well, that's good. I mean, they might as well. First off, no point of shipping off people if you've already got a crew. You're just saving time and money with that. But
Yep.
I mean, if you're gonna cancel a series, at least sate the Star Wars fans with something, you know.
Yep.
I'm in favor. I'm in favor if they move people over to the Mandalorian series.
I am too. This is all rumors and conjecture, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah. Let's go.
Is there a particular character you want to see a series done for Star Wars? I know you said Han, but is there...
If we were to go off of pre-existing characters, honestly, if we go with ones that were just in the movies, because I didn't watch any of the animated shows,
They're good.
I'll take your word for it. The only character that I really, really liked, and for reasons I still, it's now all extended universe, so it's not like relevant, but was Mace Windu. Literally was Mace Windu was my favorite character.
A Mace Windu series.
A Mace Windu series, yeah. Nothing against Samuel L. Jackson. He may be a little bit too old to play the role now.
You know what? I want to see a young Mace Windu where he learned how to do Vapod and he got his purple lightsaber.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And maybe do the whole thing of him dealing with the dark side, because he was that whole thing of his character was he was like almost he could easily go into the dark side.
Yeah, well, it's because he didn't run like the rest of the council. Part of his fighting style was about using their anger in his fighting style. I mean, that's all extended universe now. That aside, though, I don't know. I think a Mace Windu series, could do pretty good. I could be in the minority because I don't know any other Mace Windu fans out there. Honestly, I know that people like, yeah, he's pretty cool, but no one is like, my favorite Jedi is Mace Windu. Which, by the way, my favorite Jedi is Mace Windu. It's not Anakin.
I like
it's not
Obi-Wan.
Luke. Huh?
I like Obi-Wan.
I like Obi-Wan alright. I liked him more with Ewan McGregor than I did with the original actor.
Alec Guinness.
Yeah. Well, because Ewan McGregor...
Ewan McGregor's a good Obi-Wan.
He brought a lot of character, a lot of, reality to the character. But Guinness just kind of felt like the segue for the storyline.
Yeah, I get you. Also, Alec Guinness is the only smart actor in that first movie. He's the only one who asked for scale.
Yeah.
Everyone else wanted lump sum.
I will say that's not entirely true because Hamill went for toys.
Oh, right. But yeah, he's the only one who went pure for scale, and so he got a ton more money than everyone else did.
Oh, also Qui-Gon I would imagine would be a pretty decent series too.
Ooh, Qui-Gon would be a cool one.
Like Mace and Qui-Gon. That's probably like the two series. Like if I had to pick pre-existing characters from the movies, trilogies, as much as I did not care for the prequels, my favorite characters literally came from the prequels. So, Mace, Qui-Gon, or Jango. I'm sticking with Jango, damn it.
All right. Shall we move on to the next bit of news on here?
Yep. Let's see. Anne Rice. We get some more information regarding Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles series that she's working on.
I just really hope that they do Lestat properly, because that's the second book. Lestat is really good, but the movies completely glance. Basically, they did Interview with the Vampire, which is a fine movie. Mm-hmm. It's a fine movie. Then they did the terrible follow-up, The Queen of the Damned, which basically butchered The Queen of the Damned and The Vampire Lestat into one movie and kind of condensed everything together, and it was bad. And the only reason people remember it is it's because it was Alia's last movie, and people love Alia.
So, question for you. As far as the Queen of the Damned version of Lestat, would you want to go with the original version, where it was more like David Bowie, or the new metal Slipknot like version that they had in the movie?
David Bowie. David
want the
Bowie.
David
That's not
Bowie?
even a question. David Bowie.
You want the David Bowie? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, I didn't see, my first Anne Rice movie was literally Queen of the Damned, which is funny. 'Cause I
I'm
was,
not
like,
a fan
10.
of Queen of the Damned. I know friend of the show Laura loves Queen of the Damned. I do not like Queen of the Damned. I think it's terrible.
I like the music. Like, that was pretty much the only thing I really liked was the music.
Okay, the music's okay. The music's okay. It definitely hits that 90s
90s
2000s
tone.
new metal tone. To be honest, I stopped reading the books after The Body Thief. No, I got through Mimnock. I read Body Thief, and then I read Mimnock, and I just couldn't.
Hold on.
I got through Mimnock, and then Mimnock, like, drained me so much.
Hold on. I want to address this. Because I know Anne Rice wrote a lot of books, but 14 books based on...
Oh, yeah, I think my mom's read all of them.
14 fucking books around the same, like, 6 fucking characters?
Yeah, let me bring it up real fast. Personally, my favorite Anne Rice book is Ramses the Damned. It's the mummy one.
Uh-huh.
And the thing is they mention Ramses the Damned in, they don't mention him by name, but they mention Ramses in Lestat as another type of immortal who's the opposite of vampires. And then you find out that in the mummy, the type of the type of immortal Ramses is he's basically solar powered, and I like Ramses the Damned. That's my favorite Anne Rice book.
Huh.
But let's see here.
Oh.
You should everyone read Ramses the Damned. Currently, it's a standalone. Apparently, they're finally coming out. Oh yes. Okay, so let's see. Interview with the Vampire, Vampire Lestat, Queen of the Damned, Tale of the Body Thief, Mimnock the Devil, The Vampire Armand, Merrick, Blood and Gold, Blackwood Farm, Blood Canticle, Prince Lestat and the Realms of Atlantis. Okay, I don't know if my mom's read that one or not. And you got Pandora, Vittorio, and then if you go with the Merrick is also part of the Live of the Mayfair Witches, which has The Witching Hour, Lasher, and Taltos. Okay, here's the one that I need to get into because they finally made a sequel. So Ramses the Damned. At the end of the Ramses the Damned book, it says Ramses will return. That book came out in 1989. She finally came out a sequel in last year, which I should probably pick up and read at some point.
Jesus, man, I don't... It's like that time when I found out there was... By the way...
Oh, and of course she also read a couple eroticas.
Yeah, I know about that one. She also did some Christian novels because she converted in, like, the 90s. But...
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, people like these series. I mean, my mom was a fan of the Anne Rice series.
My mom was a huge fan.
Yeah. So I at least welcome it. This could be interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not excited about it, but I'll watch like 2 or 3 episodes before I make my opinion.
Yeah, no, I'll probably watch a couple episodes of it.
All right. Let's go to the next one here. But it looks like Terry Pratchett's Discworld is getting a miniseries.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to do our idea and make it a variety show where different things happen in every episode.
That would be the best.
It really would be. Watch Books are getting a TV adaptation. BBC America just greenlit an 8-episode miniseries from writer Simon Allen from the Three Musketeers and a team of producers from BBC hit like Luther and Doctor Who. I'm not going to read the whole thing, obviously, but
yeah.
Looks like we're going to get a whole novel based off of his book series for Discworld, which is interesting because I don't think we've seen anything out of Discworld in quite some time.
Yeah, we haven't gotten much.
Well, not just because he wasn't doing well recently, but like there's been external media, no miniseries like in the mainstream. So this is interesting to hear.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Sorry, I was adding. But yeah, Discworld show. Discworld's fun. If you can do like a variety or like go to different spots of Discworld, that'd be great. Sorry, I was adding the second Ramses book to my Audible wish list so I can pick it up when I get another Audible thing.
Nice. What I would like them to do is kind of Pulp Fiction style, where it's a bunch of different stories that converge onto one. I think that'd be
good.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
Let's go move on.
And Sure. Star Trek animated series.
Looks like
CS.
yeah, there's gonna be a CBS All Access. Which boo. That aside though, because I don't want to buy another streaming service. I really don't want to.
I
buy
had a
another
free
streaming
trial of it because it came with my Roku, and I'll be honest, I did not use it at all.
service. I would have just binge watched all of Star Trek Discovery.
I probably should have, but I just didn't. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't like the fact they have CBS All Access, but don't bother to show the shows. Even if they had released the full season on their streaming service, but then released the series like one episode every week for like 12 weeks or whatever.
Oh, you know what? I'm reading this, and this actually does sound not too bad.
Yeah.
Star Trek Lower Decks, developed by Rick and Morty writer Mike McCann, focuses on the support crew serving on one of Starfleet's least important ships. I was literally talking with my friend about how I want to see like more like B-plot characters in shows, and I love seeing like the other guys.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's to be fun. You know what? I will give this show a try. I will watch a couple episodes because I do like knowing more about the characters in the background.
Well, it's meant to be a comedy, which I'm all in favor of. And, like, honestly, the idea of the show is sort of good. I'm just not a fan of the streaming service you have to get to watch it. But I like the idea of the show.
True. Maybe if another, like, trial comes up, I'll watch it. But, yeah.
Yeah. Let's go and move to the next one. And it's, weird. The original Teen Titans versus Teen Titans Go?
Well, they kind of hinted at this at the end of the Teen Titans Go movie.
Okay.
At the very end of it, there's, at the stinger, the original Teen Titans come through, and they're like, they trapped us in this other dimension, we need to get out kind of thing. This is a message, something like that. And it's like, oh, okay. And so they kind of drop that on there at the end of that movie. So this is, like, super hinted at.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest, I'd rather just have the series back rather than them doing a crossover, but whatever.
I honestly am not a big fan of the Teen Titans series. It
No, like
once was enough.
well, personally, I just want some loose ends tied up. That's my thing.
Okay,
I hate
that's fine.
Yeah, I hate
That's
when
fine.
loose
Loose
ends
ends are fine.
It's like static. Okay, I know the show's been dead for like 10 years, over 10 years now, but I would like some loose ends cut up if it.
Superhero static shock.
Yeah.
What?
At least tie some shit. Either give us a comic book or another series to just end some of the plot threads you had. I have to rewatch Static at this point, but my point remains the same. Just like finish off some of what was going on.
I getcha.
Yeah, the part of me that's like with my OCD saying, just finish the stupid thing. Just finish the damn thing. That's why I can't watch Heroes.
Yeah. But Heroes also super suffered from the whole, whatchamacallit, with the Writers Guild strike.
Yeah, it was one of the deaths of it, but it also was getting low ratings towards the end of the original series. Not the rerun series they did recently, last like 2 or 3 years ago. Not the redo they did, but towards the end of the original series, they were kind of coming across a few problems with ratings, and the plot started getting
I didn't
more
watch
convoluted.
the last season.
The last season of the original series, or the new series that they did, or the new season.
There's a new series?
Yeah, it's a little convoluted, but
Oh, because I just remember it being something about a circus. I remember the last season of the original series was something about a circus, and I just didn't watch it.
that was the last season of the original series. They did they did a semi reboot because it was like a sequel to the original series. It was about Claire's children, and like Claire had died, and it was
Weird.
they brought back Masaoka to reprise his role as Hero. It was okay. They sequel baited at the end of it, but we're not getting another season.
Yeah. But yeah. So going on to some more animated shit. The Broly movie looks fucking legit. I'm excited for it. Because Broly is strongest. Broly's power is maximum.
Broly power is maximum. Yes, I know. I'm in the minority here, but fuck Broly. Jesus, why?
And also, on top of that, looks like we're getting more Dragon Ball Super after this movie.
Yep. New arc. We're getting a new arc after the movie. So that's good.
Yep.
I am super behind. I have not watched a single episode of Super.
I like parts of Super. It's not quite Z, but it's still good.
I need to check it out. Part of me is reluctant because everyone was talking about it, but I'm still a Dragon Ball fan, so I need to put myself into gear. The good news is I'll be able to binge watch the show without having to wait till I catch up.
That'll be a bonus. And then other anime news. Live action Hero Aka. Done by Legendary Studios.
Academia.
Which...
Or how do they put it? Academia. Excuse me, yeah, they call it Hero Academia.
No, yeah, at least they're not calling it Boku no Hero. I'm sorry, it's My Hero Academia. Or Hero Aka. Don't do Boku no Hero. Fucking weebs. Even the Japanese people will look at you going like, nah, if you're gonna say it in English, say it, like, if you're gonna say it, it's Hero Aka, not Boku no Hero.
I have an utter indifference about the idea, but if I'm going to be honest about this, most animes don't translate well into live-action movies.
No, they do not. So I'm not looking forward to this.
Like, I still need to check out Fullmetal Alchemist and Bleach, which are all on Netflix. I just need
Good
to check
luck
it out.
with those, because I will not be joining you.
I probably will not like them. So far, the only one that I have seen that I have liked was the Rurouni Kenshin movie.
Those ones are actually surprisingly good, to be honest.
I've only seen the first one, but I like the first one.
There's a trilogy of them, and apparently they're all actually pretty good.
Yeah. Surprisingly, like, I walk into any anime movie, live-action anime movie, I'm like, this is going to be terrible, isn't it?
But from what I've heard of them, is they're basically just straight-up samurai films.
Yeah.
And they're not trying to be an anime, they're just trying to be like a samurai film.
If you've seen a Kurogawa film, it's not Kurogawa level, but you're basically just watching a samurai film.
That's and that works.
Yeah. I mean, they could do that with a lot of other series as well, but, you know...
Instead of trying to... Okay, so, yeah, no, and it's... The anime is a samurai. It's based on samurai stuff, so why not make the movie based on what the anime is based on, instead of trying to make it like the anime?
Yeah. You know what they could do, probably? Like a Fist of the North Star live action? I'm sure they have.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I think they have. I think it was terrible, but also amazing at the same time. Let me go look. Oh, you know what would work for Hero Aka?
Huh.
Instead of trying to copy the show, copy fucking like the Marvel movies. Go straight up superhero. Make it a superhero movie.
Oh, gotcha.
Instead of an anime movie, it's a superhero movie.
Yeah. I got you. And not like the character has a lot to fight for, so there's your plot right there as one being powerless and two trying to learn his new powers.
Yes, there is a live action Fist of the North Star.
Is there a Rotten Tomatoes rating on it? Let's see.
I'm looking. It's a 2-star on IMDb.
Ooh.
Came out in Fist of the North Star is a 1995 American straight-to-video live-action martial arts film based on the Japanese manga.
Okay, let's see what Rotten Tomatoes has. Fist of the North Star, 1995. There we go. No.
Hokoto no Ken, Fist of the North Star.
What does Rotten Tomatoes say?
Malcolm McDowell was in it! Dante Bosco was in it!
Oh my god. Audience...
Dante Bosco played Bat!
Okay. Audience review is at 26% on Fist of the North Star.
I'm just surprised Malcolm McDowell and Chris Penn.
No.
Dante Bosco, Gary Daniels.
No. Like, for real, Malcolm McDowell does not surprise me. In the 90s, he could not do a good
you're
movie.
right. You're right. Gary Daniels, who... Oh, yeah, I forgot he was the guy who played Brian Fury in the live-action Tekken. And Brian Fury is my main in Tekken. because he spells Bryan properly, and he fucking kicks ass.
Not a big fan
He's
of
a
Brian's
cyborg.
with an eye. Not a big fan of Brian's with an eye.
Nope. Can't trust him.
That is, I can't trust them.
Nope, can't trust him.
They're liars.
But like Brian Fury is basically take the androids from like Dragon Ball Z and put them into like the Tekken universe,
I gotcha.
and then make him evil. Because he's a cyborg.
It's look, we're joking around. I do agree if they make it closer to like an actual superhero movie, it'd probably be better, but they probably won't. Well, let's go ahead and let's move on to the next one here.
I gotta see something. Hold on, I'm gonna make it sound in a second, but I want to see if they have the "You're already dead" in the '95 Fist of the North Star. Alright, I'm gonna send you the link. Go to about 1:16. Or I can even link that up so that it's already at that spot. Start at like 1:10.
For a true assassin.
I'm just gonna say that. Copy. Alright, give me a moment. I think that should be at the right spot.
I'll see if in production I'll let you know. I'm gonna see if I can like at least take a portion of that link.
Yeah. You're already dead. Nani?
What are you trying to do? Tickle me to death? Don't turn your back on me!
You're already dead.
You know when you're done. It's so bad, right?
So we made jokes about this. I'm gonna try and like clip this into the actual like audio, but we made jokes about doing riffs over movies. Why haven't we decided that one? Because that looks just fucking terrible.
If we can figure out how to do it, we should do this one.
We should do that one. That was just fuck. Like I saw that, I was like, what am I watching? What is it that I'm watching? I mean, I'm gonna post this in the audio. I'm gonna leave this part here. I'm gonna post in the audio. You're gonna he's like attacking the guy, and then his reaction like you're already dead could not have been more forced.
It's amazing. Wow. We should totally do that movie if we can find a way to. We should totally do that one if we can find a way for us both to watch it at the same time and record it at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. Let's move on. I mean, that would be a good one to do, but let's move on to the next one real quick.
So, PlayStation Classic games revealed. I'll be honest, I prefer the Japanese list because of a very particular reason. So, I'm going to go over the American and European PlayStation Classic game lists. One at a time.
Okay.
Battle Arena Toshinden, which was a decent fighter for the PlayStation. Cool Borders 2. Destruction Derby. I didn't have Destruction Derby. I had Destruction Derby 2. And I had Cool Borders 1, but they both were fun.
All right.
Actually, I think my very first PlayStation game was Destruction Derby 2.
My very first PlayStation game was like 2 more down.
Okay, let's keep going through it. Final Fantasy VII. It's fine. It's fine. It made the PlayStation. It's still the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto. The first Grand Theft Auto.
The top-down Grand Theft Auto.
Yep, that one was fun. It had motorcycles in it.
Yep.
And you wouldn't have motorcycles again until Vice City.
Yep.
Mr. Driller.
Let's see.
It's a fun puzzle platformer. Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, which again is another fun puzzle platformer. Rayman, again another legit platformer.
Right.
Resident Evil Director's Cut. I guess I think they should have done regular Resident Evil, but the Director's Cut is fine. That's fine. Revelations Persona. So I think that's like the first Persona game.
I think so, yeah.
Give me a second. Persona series. Revelations Persona. Yeah, that's the first Persona game.
Okay.
So the first Persona. Ridge Racer Type 4. It's a decent racer. I'm surprised they went with Ridge Racer instead of Gran Turismo.
Right. Or
But
original Need for Speed.
I can understand not being able to do Gran Turismo, because Gran Turismo has a ton of licensing issues you have to work through.
Yeah, a lot of actual vehicles, copyrighted music, stuff like that.
Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. Puzzle Fighter's great, and that's probably the best one. Siphon Filter, which is really good. Tekken 3, which is considered by many to be the best Tekken.
Yep.
Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six.
The very first
Cool.
one. Yeah.
The first Twisted Metal, which I think they should have gone on Twisted Metal 2, but whatever. And then Wild Arms, which is a legit like RPG. Which one were you gonna say that was your first?
My first was
Oh
Liberty's
shit!
Grand
I
Theft Auto.
skipped like 2 of them. I'm sorry, 3 of
Yeah.
them. Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash,
and
then Metal Gear Solid. Dun 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 dun.
the
Dun
hardest one
dun
to play.
dun dun dun. Huh?
Oh no, excuse me, I'm mistaken for original Metal Gear. Metal Gear was the hardest one to play.
I actually had a harder time with Metal Gear 2 than Metal Gear 1.
They were both kind of hard because the top down doesn't really work for stealth.
I beat Metal Gear 1. Metal Gear 1's actually surprisingly easy. Once you know what you're doing, if you have a map with you, Metal Gear 1 is actually surprisingly easy.
Okay. Grand Theft Auto was my first PlayStation game. I want to address something real quick, and we'll go into this, but
Metal Gear.
the release date for this will be December 3rd.
Metal Gear.
The other one, what I wanted to bring up is that as much as they're doing remakes, how come no one's doing no one's doing a remake of the original Twisted Metal?
I don't know. Licensing, I guess? I don't know.
It
I think a
seems like-
number of the reasons... I think a lot of these games they couldn't do because of, like, licensing issues.
Yeah.
Because PlayStation had a lot of third-party games on it, unlike the Nintendo.
Yeah. I mean, most of this looks fine. I guess I more.
And
Go ahead.
to be honest, I have Metal Gear on my PlayStation 3. And I have Metal Gear Solid on my PlayStation 3. I can play it there. Final Fantasy VII's getting a ton of remakes.
I have the PC
For the
version
most
of that.
part, this doesn't really draw me in. I will say though, the Japanese version has a slightly different lineup.
Okay.
So they lose Cool Borders 2, Destruction Derby, Grand Theft Auto, Oddworld, Rayman, Siphon Filter, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, and Twisted Metal. But what they do gain is Arc the Lad 2, Armored Core, which is a great game, Gradius Gaiden, Psy, G Darius, Parasite Eve, which is another great game,
Yeah.
which honestly I would trade out Final Fantasy VII for Parasite Eve. And on top of that, my personal favorite JRPG is going to be on the PlayStation Classic Japan game exclusives, which is Saga Frontier, though I do actually own a copy of Saga Frontier, and I can play it on my PlayStation 3 because of the backwards compatibility with PS1 discs, but at the same time, having one of my favorite fucking games on this one and not on the one that I'm getting bothers me.
Yeah, understandable.
And seriously though, Final Fantasy, we're already getting Final Fantasy 7, like they're redoing it on a bunch of consoles. Give us Parasite Eve.
Or I'd be cool with Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Oh yeah, something that would also be pretty good.
No, I agree. I mean, the list is not great. I mean, I'm sure there's some fans out there squealing, but I'm not part of that. Speaking of re-releases, Sega has announced the first console in like 10 years, and it's just the retro version of their old console system. It's the same thing. Same thing Sega's doing, or Sony's doing, but with Sega. You excited,
Yep.
Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what would make these things more interesting is if you could like add more games later onto them.
Well, a lot of them have like players, so you can actually play the old games. Like the Sony one actually has like a CD
But
player.
I don't have a copy of old Sega games. Just let me get like a digital version, like a ROM on it. Like if I have to pay money for it, I have to pay money for it. But like, let me be able to add more ROMs to it.
Yeah. Well, like allow us to download it off of like a Sega Marketplace or something like that. We can get
Yeah.
like every Sonic game and whatever other Sega game you want from that era.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not excited about the Sega one because one, I can go buy. There's literally consoles now that play both Sega and Nintendo games.
The Retrons.
Yeah, like the Retrons and stuff. That's why I'm not really excited about these re-releases of old consoles. Basically, I'm not excited about that because I can go buy that now. But
Yeah.
there's just no real interest unless they start re-releasing some of those old games, because some of those games from the 90s don't work anymore because the built-in
No, they don't.
the built-in batteries are dead.
Oh, actually, here's something that doesn't work anymore. You can't play Parappa the Rappa on
PlayStation.
it's like on current TVs anymore. Like, the new TVs are too good for Parappa.
Oh, didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Just meh.
It messes them up, and the delay between you hitting your button and it registering it is off now,
Okay.
and so you can't play like Parappa 2, and Unjammer Lamb anymore.
Ugh.
Certain old like bullet hell style shooters, you can't play on modern hardware
Right.
because it goes too fast, and part of the whole speed thing was based on
Limitations.
the limitations of the software.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So moving on, crossover character. Speaking of Geralt, good old Jerry
Gary.
is Soul Calibur 6. Apparently his story mode isn't very good.
I'm still needing to pick up this game, but it's kind of taken a back burner to all the other games that have been coming out the last couple of weeks. So we'll see how things work out.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're not doing him a great job, but I mean, it's okay. Let's be honest. He was just more meant to be a bonus character for buying the game.
He was, and that's why I'm not really mad at this. It's just it happens with every crossover character in these fighting games. They kind of just like, he's here, sort of.
You can play
he's
this
disappeared.
character. Yeah. You can play this
So,
character
speaking
for a
of guest characters, I'm gonna jump to the next one real fast.
while.
2B in Soul Calibur 6. Because sure, why not?
Yeah. Well, not.
I like
2B.
how they're doing the whole thing of her fighting Ivy, so you can do the whole boobs versus butt.
Yep. And we're of course talking about 2B from Soul Calibur 6, or not Soul Calibur 6, from Nier Automata.
Yep.
I mean, it's.
To be fair, I am team butt.
Your team butt.
I'm team butt.
I don't choose a team, sir. I would support both sides. Now,
I like, honestly, I can't be on team breasts because everyone on team breasts wants big breasts, and I actually like small breasts.
yeah, I'm a supporter of both sides. I'm a supporter in both cases. So, but yeah, we're getting 2B as another fighter for Soul Calibur as well. Yay.
Yeah, yay, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, there are weird characters to join in on this. So
Speaking of weird characters to join in, I guess in the world of Metal Gear Uprising, Pyramid Head kind of Silent Hill style characters kind of makes sense to be in this weird survive world. But you know what? Can I go on a rant about Pyramid Head?
go ahead.
Pyramid Head was just supposed to be that one dude's inner demon, not anyone else's. And then he became popular, and they threw him into everything. He's not supposed to be in other people's things. He's only supposed to be the one guy's, like, inner demon.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fuck you, fight me. That's a series we haven't. That's a segment we haven't done in a while.
We haven't either. You know what? Fuck you, fight me. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Pyramid Head should only be with the one, I don't remember the character's name, but the one main character in Silent Hill 1? Silent Hill 1, he's supposed to be his inner demon, and that's why he's following him. And he's not supposed to be on any other character's things. You can have other Pyramid Head-like characters, but Pyramid himself is only supposed to follow the one character. Oh, but he's cool. Yeah, no. Yeah, sure, he's cool, but now you've overused him, and it just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
And fuck you, fight me.
I agree. We're also getting a PT remake. I'm not actually familiar with PT.
PT was the game that Kojima was working on. It was going to be the next Silent Hill, and then they fired him. And he's like, fine, well, I'm going to take Norman Reedus and Guillermo del Toro with me.
Oh, gotcha.
And then he started working on Death Stranding with them. But yeah, that was the game that Kojima was supposed to be working on with Guillermo del Toro, starring Norman Reedus. And it was supposed to be a sequel to... It was supposed to be another Silent Hill. And it was a demo... A really long-form demo. It was like a couple-hour demo on the PlayStation, and then it got taken off the PlayStation, and it looks like somebody's making a fan remake.
Okay.
Ooh, still available for download. I'm going to download that real fast.
We also got another bit of news here is that Red Dead Redemption 2 sold $725 million in 3 days, which is faster than the entire run of the original game. Not Revolver, but
wow.
Yeah, they have made more money. They made more money in 8 days than that game was in 8 years than the original game had made. Yeah.
How much of that you think is going to go to the people who got overworked?
Well, that's the news that goes with this, doesn't it? They're talking about how, and this is now, God, other gamers are finally noticing this, but they're overworking their employees over at Rockstar. Literally overworking their employees, which is causing some like settlement issues.
They're saying they're not, but they totally are. And they're like, well, we want, and they pulled out the bullshit excuse of, well, we want to make sure our employees know that overtime isn't mandatory. I'm sorry, but when you say work overtime, even though technically it's not mandatory, it's totally mandatory.
What I want to point
You've worked any job. If your manager tells you to work overtime, you kind of have to work overtime.
Oh, I don't, but that's because I don't fucking want to. They can bite me. That aside,
I've worked too many jobs where I've gotten fired for or gotten like soft fired for not working overtime. Basically, they cut your hours.
I was hired full time, so they have to talk with me to come.
Oh yeah, I am too. This was back before I was.
Yeah.
It's a long story, and it's basically an easy trap to fall into, and I can totally see oh well, it wasn't mandatory. No, you the way
Fucking
you gotta be careful. Yeah.
But yeah, so a lot of the creators of Red Dead Redemption 2 were coming out that they were being overworked. That 725 million. I mean, a lot of them are not going to go into this. Here's a little, for people who don't pay attention in the game industry, it is not uncommon to overwork your employees. I'm not saying it's right, because it's not, but a lot of people have sacrificed their health, their families, their lives, time, and money into working on these games. And Rockstar, while I enjoy their games, is definitely one of the abusers of this industry standard.
I don't understand the whole thing that we have. Japan's guilty of it. America's guilty of it. I know a couple other countries are guilty of it. I put in 200 hours in a 100-hour time to get this done. Why? Why are you proud of that? Why are you I get you worked super hard, but you killed yourself working on this. Why is there such why is that a proud thing?
Well, I can't speak for America, but I have seen analytics as to some of the reasons why Japan is like that. And Japan just does that in general because it's a post-World War II ideology.
People in Japan are dying because of this.
Because of exhaustion, yes. It's actually, as much as we complain about the United States, people are literally passing out and dying on the roads. Not everywhere, obviously.
They are sleeping under their desks.
Or they're sleeping on literally sleeping on the sidewalk. Because they're too tired.
Yep.
It's just it comes from a post World War II ideology for Japan. I can't speak for America. I'm just going to have analytics I've seen for Japan, but because they had a really bad economic downturn after World War II, a lot of it's we need to do this now. We need to bring ourselves back up, And while they had help with the U.S. after we, bombed the shit out of them, there was still an ideology that carries on to this day. In fact, it's almost considered disgraceful to not work overtime if requested.
Yep.
In America, it's also considered disgraceful, but I hate my job, so they can go fuck themselves.
I like my job, and it's entirely. But yeah, it's one. I've had jobs like that in the past, where I'm just like, no.
Yeah. Let's go move to the next one here. It says Nintendo says it will remove racist Native American symbol off of one of their games.
So this was a move they added onto Mr. Game & Watch and Ultimate. It wasn't a move they had previously, but they added some extra moves onto him, and basically he goes Indian Native American stereotype like character, and they decided, oh wait, somebody like messaged him being like, hey, this is kind of racist, and Nintendo quickly went, oh shit, you're right, this is racist, our bad.
Whatever happened to quality control for like video games and movies and shit? Surely someone would have saw this.
I'm guessing it's because it's Japan, and Japan has different. The quality control is on the Japan side.
Like, I agree, but they have done alterations to their characters many times in the past because they thought it'd be culturally insensitive to Western audiences.
I think this got past somebody, and eventually it got somebody to like. Somebody called him out on it, and they're like, "Okay, cool, yeah, our bad." Speaking of Smash, can we talk about the Smash Ultimate Direct?
Go ahead.
Since we're on it now, so if people didn't know, there was the Grinch leak, which was basically people like, "Here's a leaked character roster for the Smash game,"
and
it's like, "Oh, Banjo-Kazooie, Ken, all these other characters," and like, "Oh yeah," but I'm like, anything that has Geno on it, I'm just kind of like. I don't know about this, because anytime Geno shows up, it's like, yeah, that seems very fanish. So, we get the Smash Direct, which reveals Ken. It's like, oh, that one's actually on the list. Cool. And then it goes completely the opposite direction. We get Incineroar.
Yep.
Good old Wrestler Kitty. And a bunch of extra assist trophies with like Guile, the guy from Virtual Fighter, a whole bunch of assist trophies. And then, for the first DLC character, fucking Piranha Plant. Which my reaction for Piranha Plant was, oh, this is a joke, right? And then I kind of sat there going, you know what? No, I like this. I dig this. I'm totally in support of Piranha Plant.
Bullet Bill.
I'm a fan of I am a fan of the Outlandish. Like one of my mains is Rob.
Okay. Rob the robot. It's funny they chose Rob because I'm sure only like a tenth of their players actually knew who Rob was.
Rob is one of my go-tos. And the best thing about Rob is nobody knows how to play against Rob. Nobody plays Rob, so nobody knows how to play against him or how to play as him. And so when they play against me playing as Rob, they don't know what to do.
Gotcha.
And then they brought in the story mode and the story mode trailer, which proves once and for all Kirby is the main character of Smash.
All right, cool. He's my main. So what's up for me?
Well, Sakurai created Kirby.
Gotcha.
And so this proves that Kirby is the main character of Smash. He is the character who wears the hats of everyone else.
This is true.
So
this has just basically been one series of long Kirby games.
Yep.
All right. Let's go to the next one. They've revealed their first evolving mythical Pokemon, but I think we've had this in the past.
Okay, so in the past, Manaphy was a mythical Pokemon, but if you breed him, you can get Fion, which was the thing I was thinking of, and Fion doesn't actually evolve into Manaphy for whatever reason. But yeah, Meltan evolves.
Because this one requires a little bit of an explanation. Let me get into this real quick. For those who may not know, who like me have not been playing Pokemon Go, there has been a strange metal-like Pokemon around, which was new. No one had ever seen this Pokemon before. This is not, one we've seen. And then they officially announced the evolved form of this character and the fact that it's a mythical Pokemon.
Yes.
Let's see what the name they have. Meltan is the name of the
Meltan.
Pokemon. According to the series, the way to make a Meltan is to get a bunch of its smaller forms and put it together. That's how you make a Meltan.
Yep.
I mean, it's an interesting way of doing it, but that's not the first time it's set up where if you want to make a Pokemon, you just add more Pokemon to it. Just pointing that out. Like Magnemite, you want to make its evolved form, you just get a bunch of them together. Literally.
Yep.
I don't know. It's cool that they announced it in Pokemon Go, but I have an utter indifference towards this, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm meh.
No, I get you.
Well, if you want, we'll move on to the next one here. And the director of Final Fantasy XV's DLC has left Square Enix, canceling 75% of their planned DLC.
So it'll never be finished.
Yep. I know some Final
Lovely.
Fantasy. Yeah, I know some Final Fantasy fans out there are going to be upset when they find out.
Yep. Keep fucking up.
Yep. Speaking of Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy VII Remake director contemplates a side game for the remake. Because
Ooh.
fucking why not?
Yeah, why not?
Just, sure, whatever. Final Fantasy fans have been waiting for a remake of that game for, I don't know, since like the year after it came out, I guess.
Yeah.
Every one of my Final Fantasy friends, especially if they're 7 friends, just complain they haven't done a remake. I was like, I mean, really, does it deserve a remake? Does it really deserve?
You know what deserves a remake? 6. Final Fantasy 6 deserves a remake.
American 4. American 4.
Which one's American 4?
Let me see if we can find it, because there was American 4, then there was Japanese 4. Let's see. Da-da-da.
Final Fantasy. So Japanese 4 was 2 in North America.
That's the one with like Vivi and.
No, that's the one with
Maybe I'm thinking of American 3.
That should be Final Fantasy 6 if you're talking about American 3.
It's the one with the main character is an Asper. Not the
Yeah,
main character
that's
with okay.
That's Final Fantasy 6.
Okay. My bad.
Because I don't do the American ones because the American ones are wrong.
Well, I was going to the American ones because if you say like American 3, people understand that there was a difference between America and Japan as far as the release.
Well, they're
so.
wrong and they need to learn the proper ones, and I'm not going to use the American ones.
Fair enough.
Because they are wrong, and they need to know the proper numbers. Because American 2 is 4, and then American 1 is 1. So they skip 2, 3, and 5.
Yeah.
Which, anybody who skips 5 is dead in my book.
What was that one about?
That was the one with Bartz and Galoof, and the
Is
it
that
had
Is that the one with Sid in it?
all of them have Sid in it.
I know, that's the joke.
2, 3, and 5. Yeah, 2, 3, and 5 have not been released outside Japan until the when they came later.
Yeah.
But 5 has the crystals. It's the first showing of Gilgamesh.
Okay.
Has one of your main characters dies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go and move on to the next one. I think this is, I mean, I like it, but it's weird. But Riot Games, who's currently being sued for gender discrimination, is releasing a K-pop video.
I watched it. I've watched it several times. I don't know why, but I fucking love it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to skimp over what I said originally. I just want to get to the K-pop video first. They made a K-pop video, and I think it's just meant to be a skin for their characters.
Oh, it's totally a skin advertisement for the skin of the characters, but it's still super catchy.
Yeah. And I was like, this feels weird to me for some reason. It was like to see an American group trying to make a K-pop video for whatever reason. Just like, this seems weird.
Yeah, no, it is weird.
And also, Riot Games is being sued for gender discrimination, which should surprise nobody given the recent light that's come up on it.
Yep.
Let's see. Well, it's the end of an era, Brian.
Prima Games is shutting down.
I've actually bought a few Prima books before.
I have a couple, but with the rise of the internet, they've become less useful.
Yeah. And the same goes true for some of the older ways of doing it too in the internet whenever they had like online walkthroughs, because now we have video walkthroughs.
And constantly those walkthrough strategy guides are missing things and stuff like that. And it's just like, I don't know.
Like, I don't remember what game it was, but I got to the point in one game where I couldn't figure out how to get past it. And all they kept saying was, okay, now just do it. I'm like, yeah, but how do I get past this? You're not telling me how to get past this. You're just telling me just do it. Fuck you and your just do it.
Yep. Or I like the ones where like, use this character, but I don't like that character. I don't like how that character handles.
Yeah. Well, like I was playing Tales of Symphonia, they told me to switch my main. I was like, no, that character sucks.
Yeah. Why would I use that character?
But Prima Games is shutting down, so we won't have walkthroughs. But I mean, we've got video walkthroughs now, and
yep.
They could have set. Maybe they do. Maybe I'm not aware. Maybe
also,
they could have set
I
up
kind of
YouTube.
stopped using Prima because I had like GameFAQs.
Yeah, same here. I'm legitimately surprised they didn't bother making a YouTube. Maybe they did make a YouTube channel, and I'm just not aware of it. But they didn't make one and just did a lot of their, guidebooks online by just doing actual walkthroughs.
Yeah.
Also, we mentioned this last episode, and I'm going to get your opinion, Brian, but Obsidian is officially now owned by Microsoft.
So, I am very mixed on this one, because a lot of the problems that Obsidian has needed has been money related.
Yep. Money and staff.
Money and staff, and Microsoft can get that to them. Also, a lot of the Obsidian games are designed for basically a computer only.
Yeah.
So if you can keep it on the computer, keep it off the Microsoft Games Network thing, or at least if you're going to put it on there, put it on Steam as well, or another place as well, so people can get the games, because nobody uses fucking Microsoft's game market.
You probably have to, though. Like, I could be wrong, but I didn't see Sea of Thieves on Steam.
Fine.
They probably will, let's be honest. That's all I'm saying.
But still, I can see this potentially being a good thing, but I can also see it going the route of EA and them scrapping them after a couple weeks because they don't make money, and I don't.
So basically, they'll just like scrap the subsidiary, keep the copyrights, and then just make their own versions of the game via the copyrights.
Yep.
Like EA tends to do. Back when they started their EA and Friends initiative, and then just ended up scrapping all the studios they bought.
Yep. Let's see. Maxis, the guys who did Command & Conquer, Bullfrog, you name it.
They killed Pandemic.
They've destroyed the Star Wars games.
Yes, they have. And not just because Battlefront 2 was bad.
Yep.
I don't know. Microsoft seems to do okay with their studios. They tend to give them a lot of time. Like, Lionhead probably got a lot more time than they deserved, if I'm going to be honest. Under Microsoft.
Lionhead fell to... it wasn't Lionhead's fault. It was What's-His-Face's fault. Molyneux, because Molyneux likes to count his fish before they are hatched. Yep.
He likes to put all his bread into one egg basket. he tend to talk way too much about what he would like to have been in it that wasn't actually in the game. So his hype basically killed the studio.
He hyped it too much.
Yep. But who knows? Maybe we'll get a decent game. If you could choose one of Obsidian's games or one of Black Isle's games to come back under their new distribution, what game would you want to bring back? Keep in mind they cannot get Fallout back.
I was gonna say Fallout, but give me a second. I gotta look through their list.
What about Baldur's Gate Return?
Planescape. No, they did a semi sequel of Planescape. They did Numenera Torment, which is a spiritual successor to Planescape Torment. You know what? I know it's not a. I know they can't do Fallout, but I really wish somebody would finish Van Buren.
I mean, there are fan projects working on it. You could probably find Van Buren and finish as a fan project.
I have the tech demo, which is unfinished. No, you know what? Do a new Baldur's Gate. Just straight up do a new Baldur's Gate.
Interesting note, by the way. We talked about this like several episodes ago, but I actually have on my wish list on Steam the new Pathfinder Kingmaker game, which was in itself a spiritual successor to Baldur's Gate.
Nice.
Yep. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one here.
We're almost done with this, guys. Just stick with us a little bit longer. Real life, they live sunglasses because, why not just be pretentious, I don't watch TV, and be even more pretentious of, I can't see screens.
I will say one thing about this. First, I like the movie They Live. That aside,
I like They Live as well.
I would only find use for this when I am just tired of seeing advertisement. And if I can be honest, I am often tired of seeing advertisement. I'm not
that's the only reason I really pay. I'll be honest, that's the reason why I keep paying for YouTube Premium.
Yeah, so you can stop
seeing
it. It's
because I don't want to see the ads.
So, look, it's part of my life. I've kind of grown used to it because it's at least something I've seen my entire life. But sometimes I just grow fucking tired of seeing advertisement.
No. There'll be like a week or two where I don't have premium because I don't have the money to renew it, and I gotta wait till payday. Mm-hmm. And that week, I'll be watching YouTube videos, and I'm like, oh my god, these ads are weird. Or I'll go to my mom's place, and when I go visit my mom, because she has like regular dish, and I've been streaming everything for this long, so I'll watch like regular TV, and I'm like, god, these commercials are weird and make no sense.
What really annoys me, by the way, is YouTube's gotten to the point where they're putting their advertisement in the middle of videos.
Oh, yeah, I hate mid-roll ads. No, or like the ones where like you have to watch an ad before watching a trailer and the ad is longer than the trailer.
Yeah.
I with my Roku, I can live stream like TV channels, and there's commercials on there going like, that doesn't make any sense. There's one where it's like a dad and his son are playing, and then the son comes up to the dad and goes, "Dad, do we have a gun?" And then it's like children like. So many people in the family die from gun-related accidents in the home, and I'm like, there was no gun in that commercial. What the fuck is up with this commercial? Is this commercial pro-gun, anti-gun? I don't understand. This makes no sense. Why did he didn't see a gun out of the corner of the eye. He wasn't talking about guns. Just out of nowhere. Hey, Dad, do we have a gun? What?
Yeah, what the actual fuck are we doing here?
Like, there's no lead up. There's no, they weren't even playing, they were just, just got up in the morning, Dad's tickling him, and, all right, kid, let's get ready for our day. And the son comes up to the dad, Dad, do we have a firearm in the house? Where did okay, I see point C, I see point A, where the fuck is point B?
Yeah. You have a beginning, you have an end, but there's no middle. So, now your end is
How did
middle.
you get from this point?
I agree. It's a little ridiculous.
I don't understand. But yeah, I don't know. They're $49. Expected retail price of $79.
Now,
to be honest though, this is on a Kickstarter, so I'm wondering if this is gonna fail.
I'm not gonna buy them, but if they were cheaper, yeah, I might buy them. But I'm not gonna spend $49 to $79 for a pair of sunglasses.
I wear glasses, so I will probably never use them.
Let's go ahead and move on to the next one here, and
so one of my personal favorite things is seeing other countries take on American stuff. So that pizza with the cheeseburger crust, that was done in the Middle East. I think it was done in Dubai as an American style pizza. All right.
I want to point out, by the way, there's some things in this world that sounds like it should belong to Americans, but are not. Some of
Oh,
these
it's yeah. There's stuff in there that it sounds like, oh, it's super American, but it's somebody else's take on what should be super American.
well, it's like the Mega Mac at McDonald's, which is basically just like a Big Mac with 2 extra patties, or what was it? Poutine sounds like an American thing. Like
Poutine is great.
fries, gravy, and cheese curds. That sounds American. I mean, it's not, but it sounds like it'd be made by us.
Right?
So what we're talking about is
Oh, and like my favorite anime stuff and my favorite like Metal Gear is basically a Japanese person's take on American and Western spy films.
yeah.
Everything about JoJo is this is our take on Western culture.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah. Now I'll let you talk into it while I bring it up.
So what we're talking about here is that New Zealand's McDonald's Corporation, or I guess it's a subsidiary or whatever, is releasing its own versions of America-themed sandwiches.
So we have 3 American-themed at Mackey's. I think it's Mackey's in New Zealand as well as Australia. Or Macca's. We have the Almighty Texas Barbecue.
Which part of the Angus beef range. This is a big boy at the McDonald's NZ new offerings. There's no lettuce in there to water down the taste. It's 2 big beef patties, a bunch of bacon, cheese, barbecue sauce, and mayonnaise. That's there. What's on there? Yeah.
That sounds legit. I'd eat that.
I wouldn't. I'm a big fan of vegetables.
I'd still eat it. Oh yeah, I'll tell that story when we're done. The next one is the spicy Nashville chicken. I'm a sucker for a Nashville hot chicken sandwich.
Like the chicken offerings of McDonald's Gourmet Selection, this is a chicken patty topped with a bunch of fresh lettuce, onion, and tomato. After the recent McDonald's Sriracha sauce revival, it's the spicy sauce that sets the new burger apart. It was a kick that chili fans really enjoy. Also, I want to point out that unless it's made of beef, it is not a burger. I stand by that. Otherwise, this is just a chicken sandwich, and there's nothing
It's a chicken
wrong.
sandwich.
They
I think
call
they're
it
actually
burger.
referring to them as. Okay, yeah, I think overall they're 30 new sandwiches, but I'm a sucker for a good Nashville hot. I'm also a sucker for McDonald's stuff, so I would actually try. I would probably get this one before the other 2.
I'm a big fan of concept food.
I am also a big fan of concept food.
Like, I dislike McDonald's, but I'm a big fan of concept food.
I am too.
The last one here is the LA Mustard Mayo, and it says that this one has a quarter pounder patty in it, along with what looks like it tastes quite a bit like what goes in a Big Mac. It has Dijonnaise. I'm presuming that's
Dijonnaise.
Dijonnaise. Okay, thank you.
Or Dijon mustard.
Yeah. It's a primary flavor. Basically, think of a Big Mac without the middle bun.
Oh, I see what it is. It looks like a combination of Dijon mustard and mayonnaise.
Yeah. It's a Big Mac without the additional bun and less, technically more meat, but with less only one patty, because they're using the 4th pounder or quarter pounder, whatever you want to call it.
I'd try that one. I would try all 3 of these.
The chicken and the quarter pounder, yeah. I wouldn't do the Texan one though. There's not enough veggies for my taste.
I would do the Texan one.
And I can't do it. I can't do
No?
it. Too much meat. You gotta have for me.
Oh,
okay,
see, I can go like veggies are secondary.
I'm a straight up omnivore. Like I'm not. Oh, it's gotta be all meat all the time. It's like, yeah, meat is good.
Oh no,
want that
I don't
in
like
your
all meat
meal,
all the time. My favorite thing at Wendy's was the bacon deluxe, which was basically you took the Baconator and threw on veggies and stuff.
Oh, nice.
But sometimes, like when it comes to like barbecue, like the barbecue sauce style burgers, I don't want the extra to talk on here. I'm gonna sacrilege for a second, but sometimes I wish like the Western bacon burgers we have didn't have onion rings on them.
I mean, that's fine. I like onion rings and all, but we don't need to.
I do too, but sometimes I don't always want them on my burger.
Yeah. I'm gonna get the very last one here. Now, Brian,
Yes.
you're a single adult who lives with a roommate.
Yes.
And I don't know what like sometimes in your space does it tend to smell? Sometimes?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I've got good news for you because now they have
Oh,
Star Wars scented candles.
What? What kind of scents can I have?
Well, I've got good news for you because if you've ever wanted to smell like a tauntaun, you can now smell like a tauntaun. The flavors in question, I guess, wouldn't be flavored. The scents in question would be the inside of a tauntaun.
Oh yeah, all right.
All right, yeah, you've
Definitely
got
smell
me.
better than his room.
Yeah. We got the Millennium Falcon. That's a scent, apparently. Yeah.
Okay.
Yoda's
All right.
cooking pot, because that, I guess, needed to be a thing.
Okay.
Han Solo and Carbon... Not Han Solo. Han Solo and Carbonite.
So okay.
Yeah. And lightsaber duel.
It probably smells like ozone.
Yeah, that's what I imagine. Kind of like ozone. What in the actual hell? Who wanted this? I'll tell you who wanted this.
Nerds, because
Nerds,
we've
yeah.
made other scents like this where it's like the adventurer smells or the magic smells, and yeah, this happens.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like the idea of a Star Wars candle did appeal in the aspect of like, oh, Han Solo could have been like an Old Spice sort of thing. You could have burned as a candle. I was like, that could be pretty good. And then I was like, oh no, it's not Han Solo styled. It is Han Solo trapped in carbonite.
Yep.
Because that's something that we needed apparently.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Um.
So I think that's it for the news. I think we finally got through. I would, you know what? If they sold these all as a gift set, I think which is the case, I might. Oh, whoa. Okay, there's more. I'm looking down at here. Bantha's milk,
Ew.
Wookiee,
Okay.
trash compactor, X-wing cockpit, cantina, inside of a tauntaun, Millennium Falcon, Yoda's cooking pot, Han Solo and Carbonite, lightsaber duel, Rancor, Sarlacc pit, Jabba's palace, Ewok, and Death Star destroyed. Oh, okay. Each set is one of the trilogies.
Interesting idea. But if they spell anything like the name indicates, I'd rather just not. If I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know if I would get them either. I would You can get all 15 for $130. No, thank you.
No, thank you. Yeah. Unless those candles come with double, like I get.
I
2
will,
candles for
however,
that price.
accept them as a gift.
Well, obviously, we're not talking about buying them, Brian. We'll accept them as a gift. Buying them is no. I'm not gonna pay that kind of money.
I don't even pay
150.
that much money for regular candles.
I don't pay money for candles.
I did pay money for candles, but that's because I needed some tea lights for my pumpkin.
Fair enough. That makes sense.
I was out of tea lights.
And now you can
and
set the
so-
mood at a D&D campaign. There you go.
Yeah.
I think that's it for this episode.
I do want to add one more story.
What's
And
that?
it's a personal story of how I can say now that I've technically jumped off of a train for a McRib.
On a side note, I've had a McRib recently, and it was not worth it. But go on.
I like the McRib. I get it whenever it shows up. I had 2 of them. They are tasty. Speaking of McDonald's, I really don't like the new Quarter Pounder. They changed the rest. They made the burger. Technically, it's a more higher quality burger, but it just doesn't taste like a Quarter Pounder anymore. And I'm just like, I don't want this anymore. This just doesn't taste as good.
They have this burger that they have right now. It's like the Bacon Clubhouse or something like that, which was fine. But now they've had it for too long because I thought it was sweet.
My thing with McDonald's is I like McDonald's cheap stuff. When I go to McDonald's, I used to get the Quarter Pounder Deluxe or the Double Quarter Pounder, and then they changed the recipe on the Double Quarter Pounder and made it fancy, and now it just doesn't. It's like I don't want a fancy burger here, so now like I tend to get like multiple cheeseburgers or multiple hamburgers. I just want a cheap burger
Yeah.
that's overly salted, or I get nuggets. No,
Yeah.
but so I was on my lunch break. I'm gonna tell this story before we finish off. Story time, kids. Sit down. No, you in the back. Where are you going? Sit down.
Sit down.
All right.
We're not done yet.
Um,
We're almost done. Sit down, Jimmy.
So I was on my lunch break, and the freight train was blocking the path between me and lunch, basically. Between me and the McDonald's that I was gonna go for lunch. The train was stopped, and it stayed stopped for a good 10 minutes. Last time the train was, and for the record, the last time the train was stopped like this, it was stopped for like an hour.
Right.
So I'm like, fuck it. I waited like another 5 minutes. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna cross between cars. So I climb up the car. I climb to the other side, and as I'm getting to the other side, the train finally starts to move. So I quickly move over, and I jump off the train that's moving at like 2 miles per hour. It just barely started moving, but I can technically say I have jumped off a moving train.
You're an action hero.
And
you're ready for
I
Hollywood.
did it for a McRib, because that's what I had for lunch.
You're ready to be an action hero. Hollywood.
Yep.
He's waiting. He unlike
I
most
do my own
actors,
stunts.
yeah, he does his own stunts. And he apparently does it for a McRib, so he's working for less than scale. So. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I've done nothing really interesting. I've denied people money. I see.
Woo!
Yeah, I'm almost a 1930s cowboy movie villain at this point, based on what I'm required to do by my job.
You can't have any money.
Yeah.
I don't care if your child is dying of cancer.
No, you think you're joking. Like,
Oh, I'm not joking at all.
don't be everyone. Don't be a banker. Legitimately, don't be a banker. That's what I am. I can't go into details. Don't be a video banker. Ugh.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna twirl my mustache with a top hat. Yeah. Or Snidely Whiplash. There you go. I'm trying to.
Or the bad guy from It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, or the bad guy from It's a Wonderful Life. That was like one of the things I wanted to end the show on. It was gonna be a high note, and I don't know where it is. Nope.
Oh.
All right. Thanks, ADD.
I don't know if
Anyway.
he thinks of it later when he's editing it. I don't see why not of him adding it at the end of this. So if he adds it, add it here. Oh my god, that was sure impressive, Dean. I like that story that you had.
Now I kind of don't want to tell my story because that seems a lot funnier than actually telling the story. Yeah. There's not gonna be like that. That story is no longer gonna be in post. I was like, I could put that in post later. Nope, I'm good. This is fine.
All right. So as always, let's go over our social medias.
If you want
You
to find
can email us at gspeakus@gmail.com if you have questions. You
can,
can see Dean posting and occasionally me at Geekus Speakus on Twitter. My personal Twitter will be out for the week. It should be back on a couple days after this comes out.
And of course, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Geekus Speakus. If you can, please rate, subscribe, and comment. We would love to get some feedback, of course. And
Yes, please review us on iTunes. That's where a lot of this podcast stuff happens. I know I'm not a fan of iTunes. I know a lot of people who aren't, but a lot of the stuff that comes down to how much stuff podcasts get is through iTunes.
Yeah, if you can. Also, they're having podcast nominations or an award show for podcasts. I don't think we'll win, but if you like us, go ahead and...
I would be happy for a nomination at least.
Yeah. Make it a nomination that's not by me.
Yep. But oh yeah, I forgot. My Twitter is at Arxist.
And if you can, by the way, if you're not an iTunes user, but you still like our show, you want to like subscribe and rate us, do it on whatever podcast catcher you're using. So if you're using like Spotify, Google Play, or whatever, we appreciate it nonetheless because any attention is good attention.
And we really need these reviews, guys. We've been doing this for over a year. We need to start pumping out the reviews are what's really keeping us down currently.
But we do appreciate how far we've gotten so far. Legitimately, I checked our downloads today. We've had 1,647 downloads as of today, which is about 600 more downloads than I thought we would have at the end of this year. and
Right.
about 800 more downloads than I thought we would have in 2 years. So when we first started, I thought we'd be lucky to reach 100 downloads in a year. We well exceeded my expectations. So thank you all who are listening and who do suggest us and who do listen to our episode every week or every other week. We really do appreciate it.
We love you guys.
Thank you, guys. Anyway.
Catch you later.
My name is Dean.
And I'm Brian.
Have a good night, everyone.
Peace out, y'all.
Thank you everyone for listening to this week's episode. If you like our shows, you can stay up to date on our social media accounts. You have Facebook at facebook.com/Geekus Speakus, or you can find us on Twitter at Geekus Speakus. We're also on Tumblr. If you want to message us, you can feel free to do so at gspeakus@gmail.com. Feel free to contact us, give any opinions or any suggestions. I would like to thank the band The Spinwires for their song Girls Like You. You can find them on their Bandcamp for the newest albums. I'll also like to thank Tom for his awesome logo art that we got. Last bit here is I would like to thank you for, listening to our show. We really appreciate it. Feel free to, find us on pretty much anything nowadays. So Google Play, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Feel free to rate, subscribe, and just share it with your friends and family if you think we're appropriate. Anyway, I'd like to thank you all for listening. Have a good night.